strikes me as hot. Hey, why not? Special thoughts shared. Just breathe. We're almost there.
This is it right here. This is you.
Yeah.
This is Jay Milne singing. You didn't tell me that it was going to be on.
I know.
They
I wanted
surprised
to surprise
me.
you. Yeah.
Surprised. I knew you found the CD, and then he was like, "Oh, I don't know. Should we do it or not? I don't know if I want it on air." Okay, play more. We need a close-up. Do you have a screen cap of this for the people on YouTube? Okay, this is Brody.
Yeah,
This is your band, Brody, you were talking about next week.
1998.
Which song is this?
Just breathe.
Just Breathe. So that's you singing.
That's me
And
singing.
did you write the lyrics?
No, that's our bass player, Robbie. Keep it up, Zach.
Oh,
Keep it
who
up.
was the lyric? You didn't write the lyrics?
No.
What did you write then?
Actually, I wrote a couple songs that are on this one. But
On
this
this
is
one,
the-
how
this
many
is
other
the guitar
CDs
solo.
are there?
No, on this album.
Yeah, how many other albums are there?
2.
You did 3 albums total?
No, 2 total.
2 total.
Yeah.
Did they sell?
Not really. No.
This is. I did not know you were going to do this. I'm actually, because I'm all ready to get into my. I had a little bit ready that probably is only funny to me for the Kings and the Oilers, which is tonight at 7:30 at Rogers Place. So this is the band. Was it for Friday or Thursday we started talking about it?
I forget.
I can't remember.
Last week.
It was last week. Jay Milne revealed that he was the lead singer. Punk rock. Is that
Yeah.
what you considered yourself?
Yeah, kind of.
Brody. You and 3 buddies.
Yep.
And you're still buddies with them?
Oh, yeah.
Was Sickler one of them?
No.
Okay.
He would be at every show, though.
Right. So you guys cut a CD, so to speak.
Yes. So,
Where did you record it?
Sherwood Park School of Music.
Oh, nice. Not
Yeah.
BC Studios on White Ave?
No.
That's where everybody else went.
But you got to understand, like this was in the late 90s. We did all the cutting and everything ourselves. Because we just, 2 of the guys in the band, the guitarist and the drummer were brothers. And their aunt owned Sherwood Park School of Music. So we got in there after hours. So all of these were done after 9 o'clock. Like we'd be there from 9 to 2. Cutting
That didn't
songs.
sound too bad.
You know what?
Was that the best song?
No, I don't know.
Did you have any power ballads where you slowed it down a little bit?
Oh,
Da,
yeah.
da, 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 da.
Yeah, there's some power ballads.
Who
all right.
drew the art on the cover?
I
If you're
forget.
on YouTube, you're seeing the cover art right now.
Well, and yeah, that was the thing that I thought was best is that we can use it now as.
Can we play these every track off there?
Oh yeah, Maddie. So
How many
I brought
tracks
this in
on
today.
there?
There's 9, but there's a bonus song that's
Let me
not
see.
listed.
Let me see the. Can I read the titles
Read
to
the
everybody?
titles, sure.
All right. Here. So this is the self-titled debut album.
Yes,
Sort of a Weezer-esque cover.
You're the second person to say that.
All right. So the album is Brody. Can you say the other names of the band members? The names of the other band
Jesse
members.
and Devin Dearland. That was Jesse was the drummer, Devin was the guitarist, and Robbie Franklin was on the bass.
And do they all still live in the Edmonton area?
Robbie's out in Kelowna, but the others do.
Oh, Kelowna, Mr. High Life, eh?
He's a teacher. He had to take an opportunity out there.
All right. Here are the.
But I went through
sure he
and
owns a
I gave Zach start times just so that
This is totally
we got him. Though,
unbeknownst to me
Zach. We got him.
because you texted me either last night or the
last
night before.
we went to family supper and my mom found 2 copies of the CD.
Right.
So I said, "Look what I found, Reid."
And I said, can we play it? And Jay writes back to me, TBD, brah. And I was like, okay, maybe he doesn't want to play it. And then we're at work doing stuff while I'm dunking most of the time. And then Jay pulls this out at like 2:53. And I was like, okay, we can't do it now. We're too rushed. He's like, yeah, we won't do it today. And then he starts the show with that song. So here's the track listing for Brody, punk band, late 90s, Jay Milne, lead singer. To the Big Guy, the Lord,
Yep.
okay,
Yep.
maybe whoever was the Washington quarterback at that time. Robbie's song,
Bass player Robbie.
Disarranged. Oh, that's ooh.
I think I cut a part of this. Nope.
Carpe Diem,
Carpe Diem.
or
I
as
cut.
we used to say back in Evansburg, Carp Dime. Track 5, The Fox.
That was a
That one's not good.
brutal. Yeah.
Why?
It's so cheeseball.
Was it about a lady
We're
who's
all
the
high
fox?
school dudes, right?
Yeah.
So like,
Well, write what you know. Track 6, Fallout. It was later, they inspired a Mission Impossible film.
Hey, Zach, okay, to go to track 6. That's Fallout. You can play that one from the beginning and see what you think.
We're not going to play the whole thing.
No. I mean, Reid, this is...
I'm sorry
this
for
is
being so cynical.
This is 90s...
I'm sorry, Jay. Right
This
away,
is
I'm
90s
like, not the
punk
whole thing.
rock.
Not the whole thing.
Each song is like 2.5 minutes, probably. Yeah, go ahead. Let it rip.
Why did you leave me so fast? You never gave me a happy chance. Your fallout stayed with me. Consider me, I know you can
Song of Heartbreak. That's pretty good. Was that about a specific lady?
No. Robbie was
just a hypothetical dumping.
Robbie, our bass player, was a helpless romantic. So all of these songs are... Yeah.
All right, then track 7, Sellout Queen. Number 8. Okay, on the album it says Just Breath. Was it supposed to be Just Breathe?
Yep.
It says just, I'm sorry.
What's the title? What's
Goof up. It says just, that's breath.
Yeah, I have that song queued up. We'll play it. We'll play a couple throughout the show.
And then track 9, Believe in Me. And then typical of the late 90s, there is a hidden track on here.
Yeah.
How many minutes after track 9 ended? Or is it part of
Like
track 9?
20-some seconds.
Or is it part
goes
of
dead
track
air.
9?
It's part of track 9.
So track
Dead
9 is
air.
like 8 minutes.
And it's
isn't
just an instrumental.
Wow. Thank you for bringing this in. I forgot about it till you texted me. I think, was it last night or Saturday?
Last night, yep.
Yeah. And I was like, wow, he found it, or your mom found it. All right. Well, I'm moved, actually. I like, sometimes I don't like being caught by surprise
I
on
thought
air.
this
I
was
like to be in
suitable.
control of the
Yes,
show, but that
yes.
was fine. Sailor in the Nasty Chat sounds like The Offspring meets Weird Al.
I'll take that.
Oh, that's incredible. Yeah, pretty good. We should sell these, or like burn them and give them to Nasty Club members or something.
Yeah.
Did you talk to Uwanuk about doing something special with them?
Well, that's what happened. I brought it in, and Uwanuk, I said, can you get this onto that thing? And I'm pointing at the computer, because nobody can just pop this in their laptop anymore. So he put it on he's got like he ripped it, he said. Must be a real technical term.
Yeah.
And he had it done in like 5 minutes. So Zach has all of the songs. Yeah.
Well, tell you what, if you are taking us in on YouTube today and you're engaged in the Nasty Chat, the diabolical dialogue, my goodness, give us a thumbs up for Jay Milne. I don't think I would be brave enough to publicize, to let out into the world something I did in high school.
It was a riot. It was a time. It was honestly some of the best years. I mean, you're playing
I'm proud of
little
you.
shows, little gigs. Shoot, we played a birthday party in somebody's basement when we were all 16. You know, you just have a couple amps and
Away you go.
let it rock.
Like Def Leppard played a spoon factory, an abandoned spoon factory or something.
Well, everybody gets their starts, right?
That's right.
I'm sorry for throwing you off. I know you had
No,
something.
I'm not thrown off. I'm gleeful.
Okay.
I'm quite gleeful, and I'm very proud of you that you were brave enough to put that out there. I think if I wouldn't want to read the stuff I did in high school. You can also get in touch by emailing Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, and you can text the River Cree inbox at 780-218-9999. The afternoon inbox, courtesy River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the Kitchen Restaurant, all-you-can-eat prime rib buffet for just $49.99 every Sunday from 4 to 10 p.m. Oilers Kings tonight. Here's how I was going to start the show. See if you get this reference, Jay. You have selected Regicide. If you know the name of the monarch being murdered, please press 1. Remember Simpsons?
I do not.
When Bart was, it was the one where it was inspired by Rear Window. So he's in his room with a broken leg and he's watching stuff go on around the neighborhood. And he dials 911 and it's an automated system. So he gets impatient. And so he just hammers a bunch of numbers because it's like, please listen to this menu for what crime you're witnessing. So he just hammers all the things, and it comes up, you've selected Regicide. If you know the name of the monarch being murdered, please press 1. So as I often say when the Oilers play the Kings, the Oilers will attempt to commit a little regicide tonight against a very good Los Angeles Kings team who are 24-11-5. They beat the Oilers in overtime just after Christmas. The Oilers are 26-16-3. So the Oilers with a 2-point lead in the standings. but the Kings do have 2 games in hand as they jockey for second place in the Pacific Division. We will dive further into the line combinations and some of the storylines when we do the Oil Understood a little bit later, but I can tell you that head coach Chris Knobloch announcing right at the end of his media availability that they are going with 11 forwards and 7 defense tonight. I expect neither Jeff Skinner nor Derek Ryan to play, as they were out a little bit later. So that means Josh Brown and Troy Stetcher will be in the lineup. So no Jeff Skinner, no Derek Ryan. The Kings expected to go with 11 and 7 as well. Stuart Skinner in goal for the Oilers. Darcy Kemper in for the Kings, who's having an outstanding season. He is 20. He has 20 appearances. He is 12-2-5. He is 12-2-5 with a 2.16 goals against average and a 921 save percentage. So that's an excellent season by the guy who helped the Avalanche win the Stanley Cup a couple of years ago, though he was not the primary goalie against the Edmonton Oilers. Remember, he got hurt in the series, and Pavel Francouz played the majority of that 4-game sweep for the Avalanche in the Western Conference Final.
Is this by committee for the LA Kings goaltending? I mean, Rittich has played 21 games. Kemper's played 20.
Yeah, it looks like it at the moment, but Kemper's having a bit. Did Kemper not miss some time though?
I think.
Yeah, he was injured late November as well. So he
Kemper
missed some
will
games.
assume
He would be. I would consider Kemper a better goalie than Riddick. I mean, I think Riddick has been kind of settled in as a solid number 2 wherever he's landed. But it is Kemper tonight, and again, the Kings are good. We'll talk about some of their strengths and storylines here as we move along throughout the show. We will go much deeper into this, but also to clarify, if you're on YouTube, it is not Joe Theismann next to me. It is Jay Milne in a Joe Theismann jersey. I'm not even going to ask you anything about it right now.
Okay.
I've already seen a couple of people in the nasty chat probably texting the River Cree inbox. How was Jay during last night's game? How did Jay deal with the Commanders' victory? What was he like on what are we calling it? The divisional doink? The doink into the divisional playoffs? The doinking in?
The wild
the happy
doink?
doink?
The wild
the watch your doink? I don't know.
The wild card doink? I don't know. All I know is that I was in full-on football stance in my living room. You know the coach's stance where you're bent
pacing?
over on your hands on knees like you're on the sideline. I was ready to go through that TV.
All right, well, that's going to be our
We will
fired
get
up.
into
And I have
that.
a few questions for you about that game from maybe a bit more of a technical perspective because you have a better technical knowledge of football than I do. It was kind of fun. A Saturday, I should say, I didn't wind up seeing a lot of Texans and Chargers. I was kind of puttering around doing housework. I had it on in the background, so wasn't totally engaged. And I guess the Texans just kind of pulled away in that game.
The Chargers let them hang around way too long. The Chargers had opportunities to put that game to bed in the first half, and they let them hang around, and you just can't do that with that team.
Pittsburgh and Baltimore was on during the Oilers game. Always my priority to watch the Oilers, but I flipped over during the commercials and intermissions and then watched the portion of the game that was on after the Oilers game. I thought Baltimore impressive and pretty much in control. And then yesterday I watched quite a bit. Early strike for Denver.
Yeah, wasn't that
not much going after that.
Zilch, actually.
And then Packers-Eagles. I thought that might be the best game of the weekend. It was not. They picked the right Sunday nighter. And then we'll leave the. So what did I went 4-1 on the picks, and you went 3-2.
Yeah.
And then you have the Vikings tonight, and I have the Horns. I have the Rams. Does anybody call them the Horns?
You have the Rams. I have the Vikings.
All right. So we could be tied, or I'll have a 2-game lead. I believe we both. Now nobody nailed the score. We both had a 3-point win for the Commanders.
That's right.
Which we were correct on. So anyway, watching those games yesterday, maybe the most exciting part of the Eagles Packers was seeing AJ Brown on the bench read some of a book called Inner Excellence by Jim Murphy. So that gets us to our off-topic topic. We have this? Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, we have the video. So when I saw that, I thought he must be reading the Bible. I just thought, finds a passage that he finds inspirational. But no, he's reading a book called Inner Excellence by Jim Murphy. So the off-topic topic for William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536. What book would you read on the bench during a game?
Incredible.
That's the off-topic topic. What book would you read on the bench during a game?
Now, it was said to have been a self-help book, as Reid, for those that aren't on the YouTube stream, is actively into Boys Will Be Boys, the glory days and party nights of the Dallas Cowboys dynasty.
By Jeff Pearlman.
Should
I read one of the excerpts about Charles Haley? No, I will not read that. That's for EST After Dark. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yes.
That's disgusting, actually.
The football players are strange. What book? What book would you read on the sideline?
On the sidelines during a game.
I was thinking more to do along the lines of the battlefield.
I have a book. I have a bag of books.
Well, yeah.
A few books. Yeah, I'll be reading throughout the show.
Reid's going to be reading throughout the show. Nobody said that. It wasn't in the contract that says you can't read throughout the show.
No, Dustin never said I couldn't read throughout the show.
And you're off probation, so you can pretty much do whatever you want.
That's true. You're in a tighter spot.
One of the books I would think to read would be The Art of War. By
that's
Sun
a good
Tzu.
call.
Yeah, military strategy, tactics, leadership quality, all that stuff. If you're getting ready for going to war, why not, right?
What book would you read on the bench, on the sidelines during a game? As Inner Excellence by Jim Murphy was A.J. Brown's choice on the Eagles sideline yesterday. Like, if you were a coach, would you not be like, A.J., what are you doing? What are you reading?
Yes, 100%. Like, if you're reading any book on the sideline, it should be the playbook, for one. Because, A.J. Brown has not exactly been lighting the world on fire. And the whole Philadelphia Eagles team looked meh. Yeah. Not that good.
Bronco Nick says he would read the Red Shoe Diaries. Oh, my.
AJ would read the Pink Shoe Diaries.
Was the Red Shoe Diaries a book or just a series? Wasn't that with Duchovny? I guess it was a book as well. I just know that it was a show with, or was it a movie with Duchovny? Where's Duchovny when you need him? We could probably get him on.
Mike, the Michigan fan. The Doink to Detroit.
The Doink to Detroit. That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
All right, we will let Jay really dive into his exaltation of the Commanders' playoff victory. When we bring you back, of course, you can text the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. Portions of this hour presented by Canadian Brewhouse. The Canadian Ice House is taking your sports experience to a higher level of ultra-cool. TrackMan golf simulators are now open at the Ice House, an immersive and realistic golfing experience in the heart of downtown Edmonton. Visit thecanadianicehouse.com. We're also going to visit with Nick Nickson, legendary play-by-play voice for the Los Angeles Kings. Here comes Zachary Kubish with a sports update.
The Oilers are back home briefly to take on the Kings, with the Kings 2 points back. The Oilers having 2 games in hand, and you can catch Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas at 6:30 for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show right here on EST. Elsewhere, Philly hosts the Panthers and the Flames are on the road to play the Blackhawks. CFL News sees 2 former Elks signing to new teams, having McLeod Bethel-Thompson to the Owls and Dylan Mitchell joining the Bombers. In Dallas, head coach Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys have parted ways, while the Rams and Vikings kick off in Arizona for the final NFL Wildcard matchup. On the court, Toronto meets Golden State on a 6-game NBA slate. This sports update is brought to you by Find Edmonton. Find takes your unused furniture and home goods to help those moving out of homelessness. Get donations picked up or drop them off free of charge. Find out how you can make an impact at findedmonton.com or call them at 780-988-1717. That's 780-988-1717. We return with Fired Up on the other side of the break here on the Reid Wilkins Show. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
Food Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at foodsausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Food Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
The grand opening sale at Sit and Sleep is almost over. This is your last chance to take advantage of the special introductory sale prices on all mattresses. Stop in today for a free pressure point scan using cutting-edge technology so sleepologists can identify the perfect mattress for you. Right now, get free local delivery on any mattress over $7.99 and receive a free bamboo cooling mattress protector. Enjoy grand opening savings with every mattress on sale. Join us on location today for the final celebration at Sit and Sleep in South Common next to Planet Fitness. Don't miss out. The grand opening sale ends soon.
So I take my friends' encouragement, trying hard not to pitch a tent, be a man, sweeper off her feet. Here I go, it's time we meet. Well, there must have been something in my lucky charm, for she gladly fell into my outstretched arms.
Yeah, this is very 90s sounding. Very, very 90s sounding.
Well, that's good. I guess it's,
Do you remember
relevant
the
to
lyrics?
that time. Every one of them.
You know all the lyrics for every song?
Yeah.
So if you have to perform live right now,
Yep.
what are the chances of Brody being the band at the Nasty Bash? Hashtag planting the seed.
If we could, yes, Jimbo, I did say pitch.
Did you say
tent.
pitch a tent?
Yes.
In terms of,
Yep.
wow.
Yep.
Like, sorry, I couldn't understand all the lyrics.
Grade 10, 11 boys.
You were still in grade 10, 11 in the late 90s? Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. No, I'm not that much older than you.
8 years.
When did you graduate high school?
99.
Oh, I was 91. Okay, that doesn't make sense. So had you heard of Def Leppard when you were a tot?
Of course.
Okay, good.
They're legendary.
All right, that is Jay Milne on the lead vocals for his high school punk rock band called Brody. His mom found the CD. We're playing some tracks today, and it's quite moving and quite exceptional, I think. All right, and this segment's going to be all about Jay Milne as well. I'll have a couple of questions. It's time to get fired up for Gemco. Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years, the authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. I don't think I'm guilty of hyperbole or hyperbole, as some would say, to say that you were jumping out of your skin last night when they won that game. What?
I was. I love hyperboles.
It should be beyond the next game after the Super Bowl. It's the Hyper Bowl.
Reid, I was all over the map last night. The highs and lows and emotions of a tight playoff game was a lot. It was so exciting because we got home. We were watching the first half at my brother's, and then we came home at halftime and watched the rest of the game at home.
Okay.
Just because it,
Who does your brother cheer for?
Well, he cheers for the Commanders too. He's
Just to support you, or does he actually cheer for them?
He doesn't really have a team per se that he would rah for. So he was in solidarity. But yeah, it was incredible. And Jaden Daniels is the guy. He is a guy. He's a football guy. He is the first rookie quarterback to win on the road in the playoffs in 10 years. 24 for 35, 0 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, sprinkle in some rush yards. Big rush at the end of the game. I don't know how he didn't get tackled for a loss there.
No punts.
No punts. That's not uncommon for this team. Diane Brown had the best game of the year out of nowhere. Zane Gonzalez, the kicker, doink, that guy, incredible. He had a big kick earlier in the night as well. I just am so excited for Jaden Daniels because that does not look like a rookie quarterback.
No, he's good.
He is calm. He is composed when he is back there. And they didn't even really use the run game all that much. I mean, they had Eckler out of the backfield that one. I don't know how that was the hand of God pass late in the game to kind of seal it. It was exciting. I mean, now the question is, and I, as soon as I came in today, Dustin was sitting exactly right here where I am. And I said, so are you happy it's the Commanders? Or he says, yeah. But he is, he knows and is aware of the power that is Jaden Daniels. Now, I'm not going to stand here and say that we will win next week against Detroit. But I think if that team just does their thing, plays their game, they go for fourth down conversions as well and did quite well last night.
Well, did they not say last night that the Commanders actually do it more than the Lions, or did I misunderstand that? But they do it a lot.
They do it a lot. I don't think they do it more.
And they quite frankly, they gave up 6 points on failed fourth downs, and then they went forward and got the touchdown that put them ahead.
Yep.
And then the Bucs tied it, and then they went ahead one more time. So I have a few questions for you, because we talk a lot about the fourth downs. The Lions have made people talk about it a lot more, but cheering for a team that does it.
Oh,
because they were in easy field goal range both times.
Yep. But you got to go for it, because this is a team that is young, with a young quarterback that doesn't know any better. And that sets the precedent going forward. That's Dan Quinn saying, look, this is who we are. We're going to go for it. Screw it. Because you know what? It did work out. Mm-hmm. Look what happened after that one fourth down that they didn't get. You know, the fumble that happened on that fly sweep. They get the ball back. They push it in for the eventual game-winning touchdown.
So you were fine with it.
I'm okay with it.
Because in the first half, I was thinking, why not just go up?
I'm okay with it because they had control of the game. The only thing that was
they were
them,
the better team, I thought.
Yeah, the only, I guess, variable that they couldn't handle was Mike Evans. Mike Evans was running roughshod over that whole team, including Marshawn Lattimore, our number one cornerback, made him look
They don't
pretty
like
silly.
each other, eh?
They don't. So there's that. I'm surprised they didn't go back to that well a lot more. I thought they could have. It looked like they wanted to try. This is the Buccaneers wanted to try and really assert that run game in the second half, but it didn't seem like the Commanders were ever out of grasp of that game.
Well, and I thought when they were up 10-3 late in the first half, I was thinking they are really in control of this game. And then, as is often in the NFL, the other team responds, right? And the Bucs got a big touchdown. Was it, I think, 6 seconds left in the first half?
Yes.
So I have a question for you, though.
Give her.
And hopefully you'll help me here, because this is one of those questions where it's like, yeah, I can't imagine what it's like being on the field. So it was 17-13. Washington failed on fourth down from inside the 10 or inside the 5. I think the Bucs got one first down, and then they tried that. What do they call it? An end around, a fly sweep? I always call it an end around.
It's a fly sweep.
Okay, so the handoff to
Jalen McMillan,
to the receiver in motion.
Yeah.
And basically Mayfield turned around and jammed the ball into his hip, and there's a fumble. Now, I know this is one of those questions, that I have the jokes about. It's easy to say, well, why didn't they,
Right.
but I'm thinking the timing of the play was obviously a little off. Did the receiver not have to slow down so he was in a position to get the ball into his breadbasket, into his belly, as opposed to into his hip? Like, did he not sense, oh, I'm coming by too quick here? Or does it happen so fast and then they're trying to adjust? Or do you expect professionals to make that handoff anyway, even if it's a little? Because that really, if you were to look at one play that cost the Bucks the game, that was it, even though they came back and tied it after that.
That was just what you said, Reid. Timing. That is such a timing-specific play. If you're off by a millisecond, that is what's going to happen. So the question here is, why are you running that play? Because if you look at the blocking scheme that happened, that was designed. There was questions, did Mayfield just accidentally hit it on his hip? Was he running? Because oftentimes you'll see that as misdirection. But given the blocking scheme downfield for the receivers, that was the guy to get the ball. The rookie, Jalen McMillan. Too early, bad handoff, balls on the ground. And why are you running that play right then at that point in the game, especially in that field area?
Right.
Keep it in Baker's hands, or a straight handoff, or that's a little bit of a misdirection, fool you, trick you. You think it's going this way. We're actually sending it outside on a fly
you don't
sweep.
need a game-breaking play.
You
at
don't
that
need
point.
that.
You're trying to grind the clock down.
And by the way, if that had been a successful handoff, that play might have broke for a lot.
Oh, you think it would have? Okay,
run.
fair enough.
If you look at the overhead view of that, because they broke it down well after the game on the NFL Network, they had the blocking in place to take that at least over midfield. So I get it. There was a benefit from surprising the Commanders with that, but the risk reward is so high. And I mean, you look at Jalen McMillan, the receiver that was supposed to get it, rookie. Maybe the point of the game got the most of him, threw him off by that little millisecond, took his timing away, and that's what happens. And then the Commanders take over. But that's what playoff football is. It's who takes care of the ball best.
Yeah.
And you look at that was really the only blemish of the game. Both teams were playing exceptional. And I actually like Baker Mayfield. I think he's incredible. I like how he's a little bit of a comeback story. But, I mean, the real story here, and Zach, if you got that video, we'll throw it up, is Zane Gonzalez.
Because you don't like kickers.
No.
Now, if he would have missed this kick, oh, my God.
Well, the fact that he even hit the upright from that close is just incredible to me.
What was the distance on it?
35, 32.
Okay.
Like there's a field goal. There's a point after. And you can run it whenever. But this was interesting because watch this here. You see him coming out on the field and you're wondering, okay, this is our kicker. He can't so he is noted and has spoken out that he lives with OCD. He is very particular. You see him trying to put his helmet on, fixing his hair. Finally, he gets it on. And the sideline clip of this when he was taking his shoe on and off was just incredible. He took his shoe off and on 3 times before he came onto the field. So if you're wondering what this was all about, he is outspoken about it. He does live with OCD, and he said before that before he goes on the field, he always has to rinse his hands off.
Really?
He says that flushes everything away. But that's a pressure filled kick. I was just when it doinked, I'm like, God, which way is this doinking? Just doinking straight back because you can never tell.
Yeah.
Until it goes down and through that side of the uprights.
I like how Tirico called it too. He didn't say
he thought it was going down the middle.
And plus, but then he said that upright is the width of a dollar bill.
Yeah.
I like that. Like that's good broadcasting as opposed to saying that is 2.8 inches across. I like how he just said that's the width of a dollar bill.
And he was on
that's good.
He was on the inside of that dollar bill.
Luckily, he just was on the inside. So what did you jump up and down? Were you relieved?
Well,
were you?
It was myself in the coach's stance, right in front of the TV, staring at it. My wife beside me in the kitchen, and my oldest daughter, she was still up. They were both like biting their nails, nervous, and I couldn't get too excited because the 2 youngest were sleeping. So I was just doing it was incredible. I love the NFL, and I especially love this past weekend and tonight. The Wildcard weekend it never disappoints, but until that game, there wasn't really anything that
It'd be kind of a
stood out.
disappointing weekend, let's be honest. If you don't care who wins and you're just watching for thrills and spills and close games. I mean, the Packers briefly made it interesting, but it was a kind of a low event game.
Well, you look at the Chargers game. I think they shot themselves in the foot. Justin Herbert threw 4 interceptions. He'd thrown 3 all year, Reid.
Yeah, that was surprising.
He threw 4 in that one game. Now, credit to the Texans. Credit to their defense. They did the right things. I didn't believe that the Steelers could even hang in tight with the Ravens. That proved to be correct. It was an interesting start in the Broncos-Bills game, but they should have, instead of going for a 2-point conversion on that, they should have went for a 21-point conversion. Should have the Broncos. That was a dud, but that also showed me, anyways, that the Bills they ain't screwing around. That Bills-Ravens matchup next week.
That'll be a fun one.
Oh my gosh!
And that's the later one on the Sunday, right?
Yeah, so it's
is that 4:30 Mountain?
Yes.
Yes.
No, 4:30 Mountain. Yeah, 4:30 Mountain. Sorry. And then the night before is Detroit and the Commanders.
I think that's
the prime
6
time
o'clock
game.
Mountain. Yes. Well, the Oilers are playing the Canucks, or at least partly. All right, that is Jay Milne being fired up for Gemco about his Commanders. 20 years, last playoff win.
Yep. It was the 05. So it's semantics, but it was the 05-06 season.
So
we
19.
discovered.
So 19
technically
years.
19.
Who did they beat? I don't even remember.
Tampa Bay.
They've played a few times, haven't they?
They beat Tampa Bay.
All right, 780-218-9999 is the River Cree inbox. You can continue to participate in the nasty chat as well on YouTube. If you're there, flick that thumb up button. We want to get to 100 as quickly as possible. If everybody just did it now, we'd be well over 100. In fact, we'd be in word of the day territory. So give us that. If you have not already subscribed to Edmonton Sports Talk, please do so, as that helps us spread the word through the algorithm and all the digital stuff that's so much fun. We're in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Visit them, jameshbrown.com. Book your private consultation today. You're going to hear from Knobloch, Nurse, and Stuart Skinner. And when we get back, longtime play-by-play voice of the Los Angeles Kings, Nick Nickson. It's Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Oilers and Kings duke it out for Pacific Division Showdown, seeing the Oilers up 2 points on LA in the standings. And you can tune into the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas live at 6:30 right here on EST. Around the league, it's the Flyers meeting the Panthers in Calgary, visiting Chicago, while in the CFL, former Elk Dylan Mitchell has signed with the Bombers, while McLeod Bethel Thompson is moving out to Montreal. And it was head coach Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys agreeing to part ways after he spent the last 5 seasons in Dallas, and the NBA sees 6 games with the Raptors facing the Warriors. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring. Proudly family owned and operated for 33 years, Paramount Flooring is your full service flooring and tile supplier. Whether you're a homeowner, renovator, or builder, Paramount Flooring provides the flooring to fit your lifestyle and budget. Visit their showroom that's open 7 days a week at 10707 184th Street. Paramount Flooring. Flooring for the life that you live. Nick Nickson joins us here on the Reid Wilkins Show on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oiler fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
This is your chance to win big with the Split the Pot Lottery. Support the Capital Care Foundation to help Alberta seniors get the care they deserve and support more healthcare foundations across the province. With a grand prize draw that grows with every ticket sold, the jackpot is hundreds of thousands and just keeps getting bigger. Visit splitthepot.ca and buy your tickets now. Don't forget to pick Capital Care Foundation as your foundation of choice. Next jackpot is January 16th, license number 713959.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know. All right, appreciate you tuning in this afternoon. Oilers and Kings at 7:30 at Rogers Place. So we will have the Oil Stream GCL Diesel pregame show with Tom and Hernan at 6:30. Again, the Oilers going with 11 forwards and 7D tonight. Jeff Skinner and Derek Ryan are expected to be the healthy scratches. Right away, we're going to connect with one of the all-time greats in terms of calling games in the National Hockey League. That is Nick Nickson, play-by-play voice of the Los Angeles Kings, who's in his final season. I didn't even realize that till you told me. I've been talking to Nick for, I guess for 12 years, ever since I started doing Inside Sports, and obviously saw a lot of them over the last 3 playoff of appearances as well. These two teams have played against each other. I also want to let you know the EST Funspiel, is it sold out? The EST Funspiel is sold out. It's presented by Lloyd Sad Insurance Brokers. It's February 15th at Shamrock. People jumped all over it. What are we going to have, 16 teams total?
Yeah.
And I'm playing in it. Are you playing in it?
TBD, brah.
TBD, brah. Wanik sent an email today saying, does everybody want to be, how do you word it? He goes, if we have too many players on the EST team, is everybody okay with sitting out a game? And I was like, yes, I'm okay with sitting out a game. I don't think I need to curl constantly. All right. We got him. We got a brand new segment here. We're really pleased to welcome Windsor Plywood Leduc on board for Voices of the Game. Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated since 1993. We're more than just plywood. We offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. With a huge selection of hardwoods and knowledgeable staff, we're here for all your DIY needs. Windsor Plywood Leduc, the experts you need to know. And if there's an expert you need to know when talking about the LA Kings present and past, there's no one better to talk to than their longtime play-by-play voice, Nick Nickson. Nick, you're on with Reid and Jay. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. Looking forward to yet another Kings-Oilers matchup.
Yeah, well, I was just saying, I always love seeing you, and I've seen way more of you than I usually would with the playoffs the last 3 years. But before we dive into the fun of hockey, Nick, I mean, you are up from Los Angeles. I know you and I talked briefly this morning. If you don't mind, because our listeners see what's happening, and it's so tragic to see the fires. So I know you haven't been there for a couple of days because of the road trip, but can you tell us sort of the scene when you left Los Angeles to come on this trip here?
Yeah, well, we left Thursday morning. The trip started in Winnipeg. And the fires basically started Tuesday morning. Ironic in that I was heading down to the team's practice facility on Tuesday, which is just south of the airport. And of course, the airport is just south of Santa Monica. And as I was turning to get near the practice facility, I could see the smoke in the hills above Santa Monica just as it was starting. This is probably 10:30 a.m. on Tuesday. So went to practice, had a couple of meetings, and as I was heading back home, the fire had grown tremendously in just 2 hours' time, and the smoke had already reached the ocean, which, as the crow flies, is probably 6-7 miles. So gusty winds, hurricane force winds, winds that have been unheard of with the Santa Ana wind conditions that we get a few times every winter. So, yeah, it was bad. And then we got the news when we woke up Wednesday that all of those homes had been destroyed in the Pacific Palisades. And, of course, a second fire had started. So we left Thursday morning, as I said, Reid, and it was so smoky. I couldn't even see out the window of the plane to where the major damage was. So, yeah, our thoughts certainly with all of our fellow Angelenos. For me personally, I live quite north of L.A. proper. So all of these fires, the 2 or 3 major ones, have been hitting south of us. But over the years, we have had our share right near our house where we have been close to evacuating. It's just what we have to go through, unfortunately, in Southern California. But nothing in the 45 years I've been in Southern California, nothing on the scale of this in terms of destruction. And unfortunately, over 24 people have lost their lives. So it's not a good time for us that live in Southern California.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, Nick. And, I just wanted to get your perspective on that. And I guess a little bit of an awkward transition to get to hockey, but we're all very lucky to cover the National Hockey League for a living. And these two teams know each other very well. And both teams have gone through coaching changes during the course of this rivalry here, 3 years in a row in the playoffs. Jim Hiller took over from Todd McClellan about a year ago. And man, oh man, the Kings look as good as ever as they have during these last 3 or 4 years. What's the touch that Hiller has put on this team that has them at 24-11-5?
Yeah, well, he changed some of the systems. I know when we came up here last year for the playoffs, people were talking about the 1-3-1 and how boring it was to watch. Well, it's no longer in place. More of a 1-2-2, I guess you could say, which allows the forwards to kind of freewheel a bit more in transition. First, maybe 6 weeks, kind of a period where the team was adjusting to Jim's new system. But, boy, once they nailed it down about a month and a half ago, I think, 17, 18 games ago, the team has really played well. I mean, it's a hard-working group. The forwards work hard coming back. The Kings are a stingy team defensively. Their shot suppression is very good. I think we're number 1 in shots allowed, and now number 1 in goals allowed. So defensively, they're doing a lot of things well. Darcy Kemper rejoining the team. He was with us about 4 or 5 years ago. Came over in the Dubois deal, and you look at his numbers now, and he's in the top, 4 or 5 in goals against, save percentage, and he spent a couple of stints on the IR already. So had that not been the case, his win total would be right up there with the best in the league as well.
Yeah. Nick Nickson joining us, a longtime play-by-play voice for the Los Angeles Kings. Kings and Oilers tonight, 7:30 at Rogers Place. Nick, I've joked with you over the last couple of years. You're pretty much an honorary Edmontonian, given how much. And you were doing right. you were doing the games when they used to play 8 times in the regular season. So that was 4 trips to Edmonton and then some playoff series. like, I'm curious, like, you travel a lot. Do you keep, like, if you go to a good restaurant, do you write it down? Do you just remember everything once you're in a certain city? Oh yeah, that's where I got to go. Oh yeah, this street. Like, how do you keep it all straight on the road?
Yeah. No, you're right. Back in the old Smythe Division days, Kings and Oilers would meet for a lot of those seasons in the 80s when you had the powerhouse teams. The Oilers did 8 times a year, and Kings have played Edmonton, I think, 9 or 10 times in the playoffs, which is by far more than any other team. So, yeah, and, this is my 44th season with the Kings. And, yeah, we, the group of us that like to go out to dinner together in various cities, we have our list of favorite places to go. We don't necessarily go to them every trip, but, yeah, it's kind of a mental checklist. I know this city as well as I know Southern California, it seems. What is this? I think tonight is the 32nd game in the last 4 seasons between these two teams. So, a lot of visits here to Edmonton over the years.
Nick Nickson, Kings play-by-play voice, joining us. Nick, you got Jay here. I noticed earlier this season you announced that after 44 seasons, yes, you heard that right, 44 seasons with the LA franchise, you're going to be retiring at the end of this year. When you first started, did you envision your broadcasting career lasting this long and with this team?
No. I've been fortunate because when I got out of college, graduated from Ithaca College, which, by the way, is Jack Michael's alma mater. That was 50 years ago. It was 1975 I graduated. And within a year, I got my first hockey job in the minor leagues, AHL, with my hometown team, the Rochester Americans. I did their games for 2 seasons, then moved to New Haven, did the New Haven Nighthawks for 4, and then I moved to Los Angeles. And when I came out to LA back in 1981, I had never been west of Ohio in my life. I had no idea what to expect. We just had our first son. Nicholas was born like 2 months before I moved out to LA. And so, it was kind of a major shakeup in our lives. I was married just over 4 years. And we decided, okay, we'll come out. We'll see what it's like for a couple of years. And if it doesn't work out, we'll go back east where we're both from. Well, here we are, as you mentioned, 44 years and, 50 years doing pro hockey. And it was on my radar a couple of years ago to think about retiring. And I was going to retire after last season, but with some of the changes the Kings made on the radio and TV side with broadcasting, they kind of talked me into doing 2 more years. So, this is going to be it for me. I feel good about the decision. I was talking to Jack Michaels earlier today at the rink. It's nice to be able to do it on your own terms, which I've been fortunate enough to do. My grandkids all live near us in Southern California, so I'll be able to watch my grandkids play their sports games. I love playing golf. We love to travel. So, I'm looking forward to that second phase of my life, if you will.
Wow, and that's a long time, and that's why I want to ask you this, because you've seen this game up close for a very long time. You've covered Wayne Gretzky when he played here. You obviously covered him when he was down as a member of the Kings. What do you say to people that ask the question and say, well, if Connor McDavid played back then, or vice versa, or Wayne Gretzky played now, he would do this and have these kind of numbers. Is it simply too difficult to try and make those comparisons?
Yeah, it's interesting. I was sitting in the stands with Jim Matheson earlier today, and I said, Jim, if Connor wins a couple of cups before his career is over, and he's got a pretty good chance, if he stays healthy, of getting 2,000 points, which he would be second to Gretzky. Gretzky won, 4 cups? So if McDavid wins a couple, who's better? And Jim's answer was Wayne Gretzky. And I think, and he brought up a good point, when Wayne was, and the game was more wide open back then, right? But he brought up a good point. When Wayne was winning those scoring titles, he was not edging out people by 6, 7, 8 points every year. He was blowing people away, winning scoring titles by 40, 50 points. You know, McDavid may do that sometime down the line, but, you know, since McDavid's been in the league, you know, Kucherov's had 4 100-point seasons, McKinnon leading the league now. So, yeah, difficult. I mean, certainly they're different skaters, different styles, but gosh, 2 of the best ever, absolutely, absolutely.
Nick, in my mind, you're one of the best ever. I've loved having you on the show, and I'm not going to let you get through the rest of the season without bugging you again. Before and who knows? We may be seeing each other in the first round 3 or 4 times.
Right? We'll do it in April. I mean,
yeah, I'm surprised you haven't asked to stay in my spare room yet.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I should have put a down payment on a place here years ago. But yeah, I mean, look at the standings, right? Who's second? Who's third? I mean, it's like the rite of spring. You can't go into spring without playing each other in the playoffs. So I'm sure we'll cross paths a few more times.
Nick, thank you so much. It was great seeing you at the morning skate. I'll see you at the rink tonight. Have a good call.
All right. Thanks, Reid. Thanks, Jay. Appreciate it.
That is Nick Nickson joining us. One thing I will say that I have loved about doing the Reid Wilkins show with Jason Milne is Jason Milne getting to interview some of the people that I've been interviewing for years and seeing the joy in your voice and getting to learn about their careers like I have in the past. I mean, Nick is one of, and the Kings had Bob Miller for a long time as well. He was excellent. Nick's awesome. He's always like, so yesterday I texted Nick to come on the show. And he's like, yeah, no problem. What time works best? And I was like, okay. Like I said, 3 to 6, thinking he would pick a time. He's like, what time? And then I saw him at the rink today, and he goes, was that you that texted me? I was like, yes. He's like, yeah, I didn't ever put your number in my phone. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's Reid, and I'll come on your show.
Oh, my gosh.
This is an awesome guy.
You can tell.
And he's pretty much seen it all with the Kings. Like, it's incredible.
Sure. You've seen everything 44 years. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, graduated in the 70s. Think of what he's seen, hockey aside. Think of what that man has seen.
Two brawls.
Yeah. In life,
Yeah.
in the changes in technology.
Well, we should have asked him. I'll try to remember to ask him tonight how many different NHL buildings he's done games in. Because most teams in the league have had 2 arenas.
Wow.
Right? So, now there weren't, when he started 44,
I suppose, right?
So were there 21 teams? No, there wouldn't have even been 21. Yes, there would have been 21 teams when he started.
And he's only seen one Flames arena.
No, he would have done games in the Corral.
I think
he would have done games in the Corral maybe for 1 or 2 years as well.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, he could be around like 70 different arenas that he's done NHL games in.
And it must be difficult for him to be on the road right now, with all what's going on down around LA. But it sounds like he and his family are safe, so that's good.
That is Nick Nickson, the longtime play-by-play voice of the...
What a great start to the Voices of the Game segment.
Voices of the Game, presented by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Thanks for reminding me I got to read the thing. Windsor Plywood Leduc.
I meant it, honestly. It was a great start.
Locally owned and operated since 1993. We're more than just plywood. We offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. With a huge selection of hardwoods and knowledgeable staff, we're here for all your DIY needs. Windsor Plywood Leduc, the experts you need to know. If people want to advertise or partner up with us, who do they email?
Yeah, business@edmontonsportstalk.com.
If you are in the Nasty Chat on YouTube, continue to give us a thumbs up. Encourage a couple of your friends to check out the show and do so as well. We should hit 100 pretty soon at this rate, but we want to get to as many as possible.
Chasing
yeah, 150's our live. 150's our live record. And Jay likes to get to 130 before he gives me the word of the day.
We just had Wildcard football
and I love
weekend.
Getting the word of the day.
The how terrible my 1990s band is. We got an Oilers game tonight. We got an NFC matchup. Let's set records, baby.
And we will have the first clue. We're getting to it a little later today because
That's okay.
Because I'm a little bit. I got so excited with the stuff with the band off the top, I forgot to do it. We're going to have our first clue for our mystery athlete of the day for Hudson's Canada's Pub. We got clips from Nurse and Knobloch and Stuart Skinner. It's the Reid Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
How do you beat those winter blues? How about a double shot of classic rock? River Cree Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Helix and Sweet. February 28th, live in the venue. Helix and Sweet. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Celebrating 70 years in the signage industry, William Huff Advertising is the most recognized name in the game. An in-house, one-stop shop for all of your design, print, and installation needs. William Huff provides quality graphic solutions for everyone. Here in our City of Champions and throughout the nation, they're the preferred signage partner entrusted by many of the biggest corporations, pro sports teams, and organizations to bring their identity to life. Recognize the name, get in the game. WilliamHuff.com.
Play more tables and games.
Play more tables and games. Make the most of your fan game. Oh, you want to, you need to, you know just what you've gotta do. It's time to add some fun to your life. Make the most of your fan game. Play more tables and games.
Play more games.
It's a West Coast clash between the Oilers and the Kings. Seeing Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6:30 only on EST. And there's two other games on the slate, seeing the Flames battle the Blackhawks and the Panthers play the Flyers. In the CFL, two former Elks are on the move, having Dylan Mitchell sign with the Bombers and McLeod Bethel Thompson agreeing to terms with Montreal. Down south, head coach Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys have mutually parted ways after McCarthy spent the last 5 seasons with the team, and Wildcard action wraps up tonight when the Vikings kick off against the Rams. Elsewhere, there's 6 games in the NBA, including the Raptors facing the Warriors. I'm Zachary Kubish, and that was your sports update. Hour 2 of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Believe in me, the dreams that I foresee. Believe in me, believe in me, believe in me.
You sound great, Jay. This is Jay Milne singing if you're just joining us. What's this song called?
Probably Believe in Me.
Is there a song called Believe in Me? I don't think there was there?
No, what was it, Coob? That was... Yeah, Believe in Me.
Oh, it was Believe in Me.
Yeah, self-titled.
That's pretty good.
Not
You guys
bad.
sounded good.
We
Did you have a producer, like a Mutt Lang?
No. We would... I just love that you're sticking to this. Reid is, just for those watching on the YouTube, if an NFL player can read a novel on the bench, well then we said, well, the heck with it, Reid. You're reading on the show.
Yeah, I'm just reading on the show. I'm just reading Dune by Frank Herbert.
What a book.
Yeah.
Can you read a sentence, please?
He joined her in the ornithopter, still wrestling with the thoughts that this was blind ground, unseen in any prescient vision. And he realized with an abrupt sense of shock that he had been giving more and more reliance to prescient memory. Am I saying that right? Prescient.
Sure.
And it had weakened him for this particular emergency. Our off-topic topic for William Huff, what book would you read on the sidelines if you were an NFL player?
I did have a couple that came in. One, let's see here. Timber Woodsman says Penthouse Forum.
It's not a book. That's a dirty magazine.
Hey, I'm just here for the articles. Big Slab Nasty says, what to expect when you're expecting. And Chris Sadaway says, probably a book about getting over disappointment, like The Power of Letting Go. Awesome.
That's pretty good.
Awesome.
Those are very good. Derek G says, Reid, get your head out of the book and focus in class, in all caps. I'm sorry, Darren G.
Should I get a stick or some sort of a belt?
Yeah, you need a stick.
Did you get, like, you're not old enough to have been through people beating you as a kid?
I never got beaten with a stick.
If you were left-handed and they're trying to hit your left hand.
That if you were left-handed, that was fine.
I'm left-handed.
Darren also says, Darren, I'm sorry if I'm going to say this wrong. Malazan, Book of the Fallen, the best fantasy series around right now. I have not heard of that. I have now watched 4 episodes of Invincible on Prime Video. Quite enjoying it. Very good series. If you're looking for a series and you like comic book hero stuff like me. Okay, I was negligent. I better do Mystery Athlete of the Game. First clue. Yeah. It's presented by Hudson's Canada's Pub. You're invited down tonight for the Oilers game, and you can also join them Fridays and Saturdays from 9 p.m. for our late-night happy hour specials. Food starting at $4, drinks from $3.75. Book your reservation now at hudsonscanadaspub.com. So you're trying to win a $25 gift card to Hudson's Canada's Pub. To enter the contest, to make a guess, you have to text the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. Maximum 3 guesses, per number. Okay? So this is Mystery Athlete of the Game. We do it every Oilers game day. And you just guess. Could be anybody. Could be any athlete, right?
Yes.
First clue is Bruins. Okay? First clue is Bruins. That's it. I don't think anybody will get it after the first clue. Somebody might get it after the second clue. Jimbo says Invincible is disgusting. I'm sorry, Jimbo. Well, I've been accused of liking disgusting things. Or maybe he means that it's good, where he's like, Invincible is disgusting.
It's sick, man.
Disgustingly good. Well, he's obviously watched it enough.
What's it? It's...
How many episodes of a show do you have to watch to deem it disgusting, and then do you stop watching it once you think it's disgusting?
Disgusting is an odd word to describe a show. Is it disgusting?
Well, there is, it's animated, but there's gory? Some gore. Yeah, there's some gore already. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then that would apply, I suppose.
Yeah.
But for instance, you, like disgusting, if you're using it, you look at one of the greatest series of all time, at least in my opinion, on television, not animated, but Breaking Bad. You have to, if you don't watch the entire first season, you're likely to give up on it.
Right.
It just drug along. But then after, how many seasons had come after, and it was one of the greatest.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Disgusting.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of Tarantino movies are disgusting if you look at them from a certain way.
Sure.
I mean, there's a lot of swearing and shooting and
let us
body
know what
parts
you mean.
And blood, ears getting cut off. Though that's not on camera. Remember.
Yeah, true.
I feel like I always have to say that. 780-218-9999, of course, is the River Cree inbox. Where's all my stuff here, Jay? I have too much stuff. The River Cree inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the Kitchen Restaurant. All you can eat surf and turf for just $59.99 every Friday from 4 to 10 p.m. All right, so what have we done? We did the first clue for Mystery Athlete. Oh, we should do the Oil Understood. There's a game tonight, 7:30. We're getting some Oilers texts we'll get to as well. Maybe we can do that for buying or selling.
Just when you start thinking you have time, the show is already 5 o'clock.
Show's clipping along. It's great.
I love it.
It's great. And we do have an NFL guest coming on too.
Yeah.
Right? I've never talked to this gentleman. I know he's been on the other stations.
Bryan DeArdo, he's NFL writer for CBS Sports. Just gonna soak it all. Just gonna sit in a hot pool of water and warm water like a sponge. Take it all in, because you know
like
what?
A big giant sponge.
In 3 or 4 weeks,
is that the name of your second album?
Yeah,
Big Giant Sponge.
Big Giant Sponge.
People are now suggesting me or making suggestions to me for series I should read next.
Ooh, I like that.
I did talk about at the end of the year. Was it the show? No, you were there for the show. My 3 favorite book. I read 13 books last year, which for me was quite a lot.
That's a lot.
And I've read 1 this year.
Now, the books that are in your bag there of
these are ones I've read in the
you've
past.
You've read them all?
Yeah.
Have you read any of them twice?
No.
And, okay, before, just remind me, Nasties, because at the end of the show,
I'm going to read the end of Dune again.
I want you to go through and tell us each and every book that is in your bag.
Okay, Dune by Frank Herbert.
At the end of the show.
At the end of the show. Well, I thought
you
I was
can't
supposed
listen
to tell
because you're
people
reading. Your mind's on Dune.
No, because I can't stop concentrating on reading. No, wait. Yes, I can.
Wait.
I can.
Just believe in me, Reid. Believe in me.
Jimbo says, disgusting was an overly critical word choice, LOL. The older I get, the lower my propensity for watching violent things.
Fair enough.
And
Very fair.
Bonus points for using the word propensity.
Propensity. I like that.
Excellent work, Jimbo.
Duck Dad said, in these crazy times of disinformation, Jay is about the only thing I believe in. After hearing the hit single, Believe in Me.
So you said you got played on the Bear?
Yeah, top 10 at 10. It was because they have to do some local stuff, right?
Oh, right.
So I think it was around that time.
Well, you guys have been great for CanCon.
Yeah.
It wasn't just CanCon, it was EdCon.
EdCon, nice. I got to find her other album then.
Yeah, please do.
Maybe
I don't mind it, actually.
Maybe stamp these brass.
It's not quite as melodic as The Leopard.
No. I mean, you're comparing.
You didn't all sing together.
Well, it's funny. When you hear the harmonies on that every voice that's on there is me. But when you record it, you just record over your original voice track.
Oh, right.
That was fun. Recording was fun.
Did you like singing?
Loved it. Still love it.
Do you consider yourself
singing.
a single or a vocal stylist?
A single?
No, a singer. Sorry. I'm so excited, and I want to read so badly I can't even talk. And plus, there's a game tonight. Do you consider yourself a singer or a vocal stylist?
Neither. An entertainer.
Then you're a vocal stylist.
There you go. Vocal stylist. Bruh.
All right. It's time for the Oil Understood. For GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, now a proud partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood. All right. Where do you want me to start? Clips.
Clips, baby. Give me the clips.
First of all, Oilers facing the Los Angeles Kings. Head coach Chris Knobloch with a thought or two on the opponent.
Being patient with our game. They don't give up many chances. In fact, they're one of the better teams in the league defending. They're so just waiting for the opposition to make mistakes, force things, and once we force things, we'll be feeding their transition, allowing them opportunities. We have to know that our chances are going to be limited tonight, and we have to work for them.
All right. Well, I think you got to be patient against any team. I think there were patience against Chicago, though there were a lot of chances as the game went on. Same with Pittsburgh.
Possibly a wee bit too patient versus Chicago. But once again, a slower start. But they did have chances in the first period. Until their first goal, they had several chances.
The first period against Chicago was not as lousy as the first period in Pittsburgh.
Correct. 100%.
I didn't think they played great, but that first period against Pittsburgh, they were beaten to pucks. When they were on the puck, they were shoved off the puck. They just weren't all around good. But against Chicago, and here's the thing against Chicago, he did not go nuclear. I mean, of course, there were some nuclear shifts. Like you and I pretty much agree on that. To never go nuclear would be silly. And as Knobloch has said, after a timeout, after an icing, a TV timeout, after a penalty kill, and most teams do that, find extra shifts for their best players. That's why they get more ice time. They get extra shifts. But yeah, it wasn't McDavid and Draisaitl 5-on-5 in that game. I know they were on the ice for the power play. And I'm going to say this, and I've said it before, and I've become pretty vocal, I think, about what Draisaitl's doing. I thought Draisaitl led the charge against Chicago. Like, I thought he had a better game than McDavid. And usually even an off night for McDavid, he does a lot of good things. But I just think over the course of the year, which is now, what are we at, 42 games? This is 43 tonight.
Yep.
I think Draisaitl has been more of a catalyst for the Oilers than McDavid has. And that's not saying McDavid's having a bad year. I just think Draisaitl has been absolutely outstanding.
Oh, it'd be hard to argue that at all. I mean, McDavid is the leader of this team. He's the driving force. But Draisaitl is just doing things differently this year. There's no stop. And I mean, you look at, I don't know, is Pod Colson part of the secret sauce to this recipe? I don't know. Nobody knows, but
yeah.
Leon's doing something massive.
Yeah.
And it's continual. It's not letting up. Now, I wanted to ask you, Reid. I've been waiting to ask you since we came back from New Year's break.
Okay.
You circled this game a
Yes.
long time ago as a game to watch out for.
I did.
And say, now, that was because, as you all know, 4 games on the road, they come home, then they go away for another 4.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this game now, given what just happened over the last 3-4 games?
Highly concerned about tonight's game.
You still are highly concerned.
Yep, I got to stick with it. First game back after a long road trip can often be tough, and I think it's exacerbated. Did I use that word correctly? I think I did.
Darn tootin' right, you did.
When you're going out on the road again after the game, they're not going to fly after the game. They'll fly tomorrow to Minneapolis, St. Paul for the game on Wednesday. I have found this over the years covering the team. I don't have any official stats, and sometimes it might only happen once a year. And I'm talking long road trip, which it was 4 games over a week, and they went all the way out to the East Coast. And then back home, the first game back home is sometimes tough, especially when there's only a 1-day break.
Sure.
And then back out again, because it's really an 8-game, it's not an 8-game road trip, but it's 8 games in 8 different cities. And it's not, they played Vancouver, last Tuesday and Calgary on Friday, and now they have a home game on Monday. It's a significant travel. Getting back Saturday night. Now, a bit of an earlier game in Chicago, so that would have helped a bit in terms of when they landed Saturday night. I just think that when I looked at the schedule, I thought that bugs me. I thought that's a game that's going to be tough for the... And I'm throwing in the opponent. I mean, if they were playing a crappy team, I might feel a little different. I just think this... Now, the Kings have, been on the road for 2 consecutive games. They're in the middle of a road trip. They were beaten, 2-1 in Calgary on Saturday. I watched the third period of that game. But yes, and I'm not trying to make an excuse. I'm not trying to be overly negative. I'm just saying I've seen this before, and with other teams too. I remember a couple of years ago, the Oilers were playing the Rangers, and the Rangers were getting back from a long West Coast road trip. And I used to have John Shannon on the Face-Off show, and he said, Oilers are going to win this game. I was like, why are you so confident? He's like, first game back after a long road trip. Goes, Rangers aren't going to be ready to go, and they weren't. So I do think that's a factor, and that makes me a little feel like this game's a little perilous for the Oilers. And again, the Kings are really, really good and going to be really motivated to beat Edmonton.
5 overtime games for the Kings.
Losses.
Losses, yes. Sorry, excuse me. That's a lot. 4 coming on the road.
I didn't look too much into that. Who has the most overtime losses in the league? Where are the standings? There's got to be some teams that are up around 8 or 9 already. Isn't Calgary bad in overtime?
Bruins have 5.
Blue Jackets 6.
Penguins 8.
Yeah, Islanders 7. Canucks 10. It's the Canucks and Flames 7.
Canucks.
Yeah, the Canucks are 19, 13, and 10. So if they, would have won 3 of those, they'd be only a point back of LA. Or a couple points back of LA. But yes, this game, just with the pacing of the schedule, the travel, going out on the road again, it doesn't, just makes me feel a little bit like, is this, are the Kings going to be the more energetic team tonight? It does worry me a little bit.
I do have to think about your point, though, about the earlier game in Chicago and, allowing them to get home, maybe have a whole day yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Normal routine this morning. Maybe it's not as tight as you would think.
Yeah, maybe not. I mean, and the Oilers are a good team. I mean, some of the years they would have lost those games when I was covering them. They were losing regardless of the situation of the game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fair enough. But, yeah, this just looking at the schedule for this, this is a tough week, really. It's tougher than the previous week when you had Seattle, Boston, Pittsburgh, and Chicago. You got L.A., you got Minnesota, you got Colorado, and Vancouver. Those are all pretty good teams. I know Vancouver's had their struggles. Maybe Colorado isn't what they used to be, but they're still pretty good. So that's why I look at these 4 games as pretty tough. 780-218-9999 if you want to text the River Cree inbox. We'll get to more clips from the Oilers morning skate today as well. Jay and I are in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown, personal injury law firm, the heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. JamesHBrown.com. Book your private consultation today.
Are back home briefly to take on the Kings, with the Kings 2 points back of the Oilers, having 2 games in hand. And you can catch Tom Gazzola at 6:30 with Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show right here on EST. Elsewhere, Philly hosts the Panthers and the Flames are on the road to play the Blackhawks. And CFL News sees 2 former Elks signing to new teams, having McLeod Bethel-Thompson to the Owls and Dylan Mitchell joining the Bombers. Well, the Rams and Vikings go at it in Arizona for the final NFL wildcard matchup. On the court, Toronto meets Golden State, and the Heat face the Clippers. Well, the Timberwolves battle the Wizards. This sports update is brought to you by Sit and Sleep. Transform your home at a fraction of the cost during Sit and Sleep's winter clearance event. From massive discounts on major sleep brands to unbeatable deals on Canadian-made custom furniture, Sit and Sleep's winter clearance event is a can't miss. Plus, enjoy free local white glove delivery and special financing offers to help you bring home the best. Visit Sit and Sleep today in South Common, next to Planet Fitness. We have a quick timeout before the Reid Wilkins Show returns here on EST. I'm Zachary Kubish for your sports update.
Don't feel like working? Join the Hangout. You never know what you might hear. Weekday mornings 9 to 11 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Make a fresh start in the new year with Sentinel Storage. With convenient locations near you, Sentinel Storage is here to help you make space for everything 2024 holds. Sentinel Storage. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Got some gently used furniture or home goods that need a new home? Find Edmonton is here to help. Every month we furnish over 100 homes to those transitioning out of homelessness, and we need your gently used furniture and home goods. Drop off at 5120 122nd Street or call for free local pickup. Just visit findedmonton.com to learn how your donations can help create a home for someone in need. Plus, shop our thrift store, in-store or online, with proceeds benefit those moving out of homelessness through housing supports. Visit us at findedmonton.com. Find Edmonton, supporting our community one home at a time.
The Canadian Ice House is taking your sports experience to a higher level. Trackman golf simulators are now open at the Ice House, an immersive and realistic golfing experience in the heart of downtown Edmonton. Visit in-store or at thecanadianicehouse.com for details.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop, only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Hope you're having a great Monday afternoon. Game day, Oilers and Kings tonight, 7:30 at Rogers Place. Second of 4 meetings between the two teams this season. Kings won in overtime back on December 27th. We will have the Oil Stream GCL Diesel pregame show with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas starting at 6:30. Jay and I are with you, along with the Coob, until 6 o'clock. Read at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Our off-topic topic: which book would you read on the sidelines if you were an NFL player? And my top 3 is going to be something to do with this as well. The off-topic topic presented by William Huff. So somebody said Penthouse Forms. Of course. There was another one. Van Owen says, Reid, you need to read The Wheel of Time if you haven't. I haven't. I have not read any of these. The Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson or Fleet of Knives by Gareth Powell. So, Van Owen, I assume that those are also the books you would read on the sidelines if you were an NFL receiver, had a little bit of the downtime.
Those books, where do you get them from? Where do you get books from? Do you go to... Just relax. Relax. Jeez.
What's next? Where do babies come from, Reid?
My mom says it's a stork.
That's right.
No, but like, do you go to? I mean, Chapters is now no longer, right? It's
Is Chapters totally gone?
Well, what's the one they replaced it with?
Indigo.
Indigo.
Isn't there still a Chapters in West Ed? The one on White Ave shut down.
White Ave's now a Winners.
Yes,
we just drove by it when we were going to my daughter's track and field at the Butterdome.
I remember when that Chapters opened. I want to say mid to late 90s on White Ave. And there were a lot of people up in arms like, oh, that type of store doesn't belong on White Ave. We don't need these big box stores on White Ave with all the boutiques and independent stuff. And then when Chapters closed down, 2 or 3 years ago, oh, I can't believe White Ave is losing Chapters. He was a staple there. We loved having a Chapters on White.
So there's a new bar there.
But you can buy books.
In the post office. The old post office.
On White?
Yeah, it's upstairs.
Oh, neat.
What used to be the billiard club is now some country bar.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and they've got an American flag and a Canadian flag out on the stoop. I thought that was an interesting choice.
What, are they getting ready for statehood?
I don't know.
Let's hope not.
A little bit poor timing, but your books. So there is a bookstore on White Ave.
Well, I got this physical book for Christmas, the Reacher book. Yeah.
Okay. Have you been to that bookstore by the Tim Hortons on White Ave?
No, I think that's a Christian. That's a Christian
no, it's
store.
Certainly
isn't it?
not. No.
Oh, I thought there was a Christian themed bookstore there.
We went in there in the summer, and man, that place is a maze.
Oh, really?
It's like tight,
like in a good way.
Yeah, like if you wanted to look up World War II history books,
then why wouldn't you?
There's a section dedicated to it, and by a section I mean half the size of this room.
Oh, neat.
They've got books for everything.
Well, there's still I think it's an Indigo in Kingsway, which is where I got my mom a book for Christmas. And there's still Audrey's. I mean, we got to mention Audrey's on Jasper and 107, right? 107 or 108. That's a classic store. I remember I went in there, I think it was a couple Christmases ago, and I went in and I talked to somebody and I said, my mom likes these books. What other books might you have? And she said, okay, give me a second. And I was like, oh, I must I felt like it was kind of a brush off.
Yeah.
And then she came back with a stack of about 10 books and explained each book and the author's history to me. And I was like, wow, that's incredible service.
That was incredibly...
You got somebody working there who knows all about the books.
Derek says, Afternoon Gents would have to be a classic dystopian book, 1984 by George Orwell.
On the bench. That'd be great.
I would read this comes in from The Wolf. I would read the New York Times best-selling book. Have a Nice Day by Mick Foley, The Wolf.
Isn't he a wrestler?
I don't know. Yes.
I think Mick Foley's a wrestler.
He is. Wasn't he Mankind?
Oh, is that what he was?
No.
Okay. That sounds right.
He had Socko, Mick Foley.
Okay.
Yeah. Shawnsy, Daisy's Saloon. They opened months ago. That's upstairs.
Oh, that's the bar. Okay. If you're just joining us, yes, we tend to have 3 topics minimum going at the same time. And even sometimes I'm not sure which one we're on. Sometimes I'm the one talking and I'm not sure which one I'm talking about.
Did I get Henwayed? God.
About what?
I don't know. Mick.
Who Henwayed you? No, I think Kelvin's just writing the word Henway. Who Henwayed you?
Gosh.
Or us?
Well, I don't know.
Did somebody make up the name of a book?
New York Times bestsellings have a...
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Even if I do, who cares? So sue me. I was trying to say both of those at the same time.
Give us a thumbs up on YouTube. We're halfway through the show, and we're 90% of the way to our daily goal of 100 minimum.
I've got such a good word. Let's get there.
Yeah, but word of the day, we got to get to at least 130. Let's do our game of the night. Well, we'll have a couple. presented by Playmore Tables
Did
and
we give a
Games.
clue? We haven't
Oh,
given a
second clue. Okay. Playmore, hang on. You will get
Yes, you'll get
but
your
right now,
shine.
it's Hudson's Canada's Pub. Mystery athlete of the game. Clue number 2 is Maple Leafs. So the first clue is Bruins. The second clue is Maple Leafs. I predict someone is going to get it now. I predict someone will now get it. Maple Leafs.
Thank you.
Maple Leaves. So the clues so far are Bruins and Maple Leafs. You must text your guess to the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999, and maximum 3 guesses per person. You can't just spam us with Tony Tanti over and over again. It's not Tony Tanti. Who was it that always guessed Tony Tanti? Tube Socks?
Tube
Does
Socks.
he still
I haven't
do that?
seen Tube Socks in the chat for a while. Where is you?
Maybe he's on holidays.
Maybe.
I haven't got a limerick today from the Big U, because that's kind of concerning. To read at EdmontonSports.com. Somebody send me an email. Like, if you
Please.
want to make me happy,
If you
just
want to make
send
his
me,
day.
preferably write a limerick, but just send me an email. Even if it's insulting, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's nice getting something in the inbox. Okay, did I give the second clue? Yes, I did.
You did.
All right.
You did.
So Hudson's Canada's Pub mystery athlete of the game. We also have, thanks to the wonderful people who supplied our classic arcade machine.
Yeah.
Which, are we allowed to say who was here today?
Of course. It was on our Instagram.
Yukon was here.
Yukon Jack. The Yukon Jack.
Playing Tecmo against, did he play Awanak as well?
He played Awanak and then he played Hernan because they're getting the league going.
They're getting the
Of
league
which
going.
you and I are both going to give it a good
And I have no
effort.
practice time because they don't let us practice. It'll be like the year Tampa Bay and the Seahawks were expansion teams and they scheduled them against each other just so one team would win.
Well, yeah, that's why I went over there and I played a quarter. I think I'm going to do a quarter against a computer every day and just try and get the buttons down so I know where
Well,
what I'm
Awanak
doing.
won't teach us the buttons for some reason.
He taught me.
He's very snooty.
He's very persnickety about this.
All right.
Oh, Big Uke says refresh your email.
Oh, I guess got it. Last night, Commanders take down the Rebels of the Sea. I'm reading this cold.
This is a limerick.
I didn't even
Cool.
read it ahead of time. I didn't. He could have put. I shouldn't cold read them.
You
okay,
can trust
it's safe.
Uke.
Last night, Commanders take down the Rebels of the Sea. Next weekend, the Lions are sure to bite their knee. Ravens versus Bills, surely to thrill. Jay's band to reunite. Nasties would buy the CD.
Very well.
Pretty
done.
good, Big Uke. You are a molten mound
of manly
magma.
Bet you if we made those shirts, they'd sell.
The Big Uke shirts, molten mound of
Manly
magma. There's a picture of a big pile of magma on the front. All right, now we're going to do, thanks to our friends at Playmore Tables and Games, the game of the night. From ping pong and pool tables to darts and dome hockey, plus all the classic arcade action you could ask for, visit Canada's Game Room experts. Locations in Edmonton and Calgary are online at playmoregames.ca. All right, so the obvious one is Oilers and Kings game of the night. Let's do another clip here, Coop, before we get to some other stuff. Oilers goaltender Stuart Skinner with some interesting observations on the LA Kings.
I mean, they got a lot of speed. They obviously changed some things up with the coaching and everything, so they got a little bit of a different system, different forecheck, different neutral zone. So they're playing the game a little bit differently. They're different in the D zone too, so kind of all parts are different, but same types of players. Gritty players that like to go to the net. They present a lot of bodies in front, a lot of guys that can kind of scrum it up. Obviously, some fantastic players with some really good IQ. And some great shots. So a team that we definitely respect. Obviously the past has happened, but a lot of those series, different things could have happened and they could have moved on. So they're a fantastic team. And we absolutely got to be ready.
And Knobloch sort of touched on as well, but really pretty direct references to the coaching change. Todd McClellan replaced by Jim Hiller, and maybe they play with a little more aggression now, don't have that passive 1-3-1. And it just shows you how fickle coaching can be in the National Hockey League. So Todd McClellan gets fired from LA, doesn't have a job for almost a year. He's now won 7 straight games with the Detroit Red Wings. Oh, his system doesn't work anymore, LA. Well, it seems to be fine in Detroit.
Yeah, but you know what, Reid? You've seen that. You saw with Boston what happened with the coaching change there. Teams seem to have a little bit of a boost.
Okay, so is it the dead cat bounce in Detroit?
Yes.
Or are they going to come back down to earth?
They will.
Okay.
Maybe I shouldn't say that so emphatically, but I do think that there is that coaching change, as you said, a dead cat bounce effect.
Well, it snaps teams to attention.
It does, and then but it'll wear off. It's like a coach that yells at you all the time. It gets your attention for a few games, and then it's like, well, this guy's just
you can only play
mean.
better than you are for, but the GM who's making the move is thinking, no, this team should be better than they are.
Yes.
The Wings still 2 points out of a playoff spot, despite having won 7 in a row. They are 20-18-4. Yeah, it's interesting. Like I think Todd's a really good coach. I really had a lot of respect for him when he was here. I think when he was let go, I think there were a couple things he didn't handle great, but I also think, there were some moves that weakened the roster. I'm not going to relive the 2018 season or whatever, but he's a good coach. But it's just, and we've been through it. Remember when we looked a few weeks ago and Knobloch's already like in the middle of the pack for how long he's been a serving coach. But I will say this and have the nurse clip ready, please, Coop, because the LA King. So we've talked about this, right? Identity.
Well, yes.
How is a team going to play? Even if they're having an off year, are there still certain things they do really well or that make them a tough opponent, even if they don't win as much? I think the Kings have become a franchise, I guess, in the Kopitar-Doughty era. I mean, we call it the McDavid-Draisaitl. I know Brown and Quick and Williams were on those Stanley Cup teams as well. But to me, they're a team with a very consistent identity, and I asked Darnell Nurse about that today.
Yeah, obviously they have a lot of a really good leadership group there that obviously sets a tone for their group, and it doesn't matter what system they're playing or who's in the lineup. They're always a tough matchup. So for us, we're looking forward to it and looking forward to the challenge and coming out and playing our best game.
Yeah, I think the Kings. I'll use a cliche here. Are they the one of the prototypical heavy hockey teams?
Yep.
It's maybe not you, but it used to be the Kings and the Blues, right? They play heavy hockey. They're all over the puck. You got to play heavy hockey. You got to grind. I mean, they got Byfield. I don't think they have as many players who can do that as they used to, and I think the game has shifted with more players coming up who have speed and skill.
Well, look at the Oilers. Right?
Yeah.
Look at how they as a team play compared to the Kings.
Okay, but if you were worried about if you were a third team, if you were the Vegas Golden Knights, who would you be more worried about being able to lean on you in a 7-game series?
Oh, by far the Kings.
Okay, well is that troubling?
Physically, but is that the game? Being leaned on physically. What about being leaned on skillfully? You can lean on them in different ways. And obviously, it's working for the Oilers because they are not physical. We've discussed this on the show.
No, they're not a banging team, and they have a good record. No, their record against other teams in the top 10, not great. What was it, 3-6-2 when I checked it a few days ago?
But the last meeting that these two had in L.A., who beat the Oilers? It was the second line.
Byfield and Fogle. And I don't think Moore played that game, but he's on that line today.
Just muscled, outworked them, out-physicaled them. So it'd be interesting to watch that tonight if that is a bit of a plan that they are trying to use again here.
I also thought that game back on the 27th, I don't know if either team played well. To me, it was a bit of a first game back after Christmas type of game. It was a little, I don't know, up and down, inconsistent for both teams. And then I think just Byfield stepped up more than the other top guys in the game and won the game. So, we'll see if the Oilers have more of a response tonight. Clearly, they are playing well, and they are. It was good to see, as I was referencing earlier, it was good to see them figure it out against Chicago and change the lines without going nuclear, right? I mean, Perry got to play with Draisaitl. He got a goal. Captain was up there. Podkolzin scored again. I guess he has 5 now. But the Oilers are going with 7 defensemen tonight, which I didn't expect. I thought they would have Jeff Skinner in the game tonight.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't understand why, when you have a spot that's there, available.
I guess, now Knobloch didn't elaborate. It was kind of just as he was sort of wrapping up his availability today. He was, I think Rashog said, is it 12-6? And he's like, no, 11-7. And then it was done. I wonder if they like what they've seen from Josh Brown and want to give him a chance. But they want to have 7D in. So if he or Stetcher has a tough game, there's somebody else to fill in. I want to say this as well. I think Emerson's really starting to come along.
Sure.
If you look at his poise, you look at his battle, like I think he's got a lot of potential actually. Like maybe to grow into a pretty solid defenseman. Not a star. But yeah, 11-7 for the Oilers today. All right, more clips. More of your text. We'll have buying or selling from Damon Bunting. We're also going to connect with Bryan DeArdo. He covers the NFL for CBS Sports. Are we at 100?
Yeah.
We are at 100 thumbs, so let's get to 130.
Keep pushing through. This is a word of the day, and it means something today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You know who's standing by?
Brian.
The Coop.
Oh, Coop.
Coast clash between the Oilers and the Kings with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6:30 right here on EST. And there's two other games dotting the slate, seeing the Flames battle the Blackhawks and the Panthers play the Flyers. In the CFL, two former Elks are on the move, having Dylan Mitchell sign with the Bombers and McLeod Bethel Thompson agreeing to terms with Montreal. Down south, head coach Mike McCarthy and the Dallas Cowboys have mutually parted ways after McCarthy spent the last 5 seasons with the team. And Wildcard action wraps up tonight with the Vikings kicking off against the Rams. Elsewhere, there's 6 games in the NBA, including the Raptors facing the Warriors. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy. Get treated like a pro with their highly skilled crew. Whether you're recovering from an injury or looking to enhance your performance, Advantage Sports Medicine and Physiotherapy uses the same locker room approach, trusted by the best in the game. Find them online at AdvantageSportMed.ca. We return to the Reid Wilkins Show on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're in the loop.
Been injured in a car collision, let James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, protect your interests. They'll be there every step of the way to help answer your questions and help you get your life back on track. Trust Alberta's precedent-setting injury lawyers with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, call James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers, 780-428-0088, or go to jameshbrown.com.
How do you beat those winter blues? How about a double shot of classic rock? River Cree Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Helix and Sweet. February 28th, live in the venue. Helix and Sweet. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Tommy Gunn's Barbershop is more than just a barbershop. It's a top-notch, tailor-made experience from check-in to check-out. Get a precision haircut, a classic shave, or a facial to step up your style. Just walk in, relax, and let Tommy Guns take it from there. Find comfort in knowing their team follows the code, which is their commitment to care for you as a customer. Check out Tommy Guns today, in-store or online at TommyGuns.com to bring out the best in you. Tommy Guns, where every cut is done right every time.
Fuge Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at fugesausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Fuge Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
right, portions of this hour are presented by Canadian Brewhouse. Wing Wednesdays, unbeatable at the CBH, only 69 cents each, and a mountain of flavors to savor. Flavor of the month in January, passion fruit habanero. Do that wing thing every Wednesday at Canadian Brewhouse. Monday tonight, by the way, just to clarify, in case you missed it, tonight's game is on Sportsnet. There has been some assumptions, it's on Prime Video because it's Monday. No. Chicago and Calgary is the prime game. The Oilers-Kings is the prime game right at the end of the season in April. So the Oilers are on conventional cable tonight. None of this streaming garbage. Who streams these days? 780-218-9999 is the EST inbox. Of course, presented by River Cree. And you can jump into the nasty chat on YouTube, participate with us, more importantly with each other. Usually many of you get good discussions going there with each other. And give us a thumbs up as well as we have moved past 100. Don't delay your pleasure. Don't be a pleasure delayer. Get us to 130 because I want to get that word of the day. All right. So game of the night, besides Oilers-Kings, we got to identify the football game, do we not?
Oh, of course. Vikings-Rams.
Vikings-Rams. So this is my... I don't have my scores here. Obviously, I picked the Rams. You picked the Vikings.
Yes.
I think the Rams are good. Now, the game has been moved. It's in Arizona because of the fires. I don't know. Is that going to affect the Rams? I guess we'll see. The Rams, weren't they 1-4? So they did pretty well over their last 12 games. And they have good players. They have a good quarterback. They have a good coach. They have players and a culture that has been to championship games before. Because they lost a Super Bowl and won a Super Bowl in the last 6 years. I think the Rams will beat Minnesota.
Savage the plumber says, "Let's go Rams. You're dead to me, Milne."
Why is he mad at you?
Because I got the Vikings.
Well, you made a pick.
I made
doesn't
a
mean you
pick.
hate Savage the plumber.
Oh, it has nothing to do with Savage the
Do you
plumber.
know Savage the plumber?
Yeah, he was in here last week. You know.
Oh,
him too.
okay. Sorry, I can't remember everybody.
Here's why I went with Minnesota. It's because they laid an egg against Detroit.
Yes.
But they were still able to get into the red zone. They just couldn't finish the job. I don't see them doing that 2 weeks in a row. Plus, Minnesota leads the league in turnovers. Playoff Matthew Stafford, I don't trust. So, that's kind of why I went towards Mini.
Super Bowl champion Matthew Stafford. You don't trust in the playoffs.
Not the new Matthew Stafford. That's the old Matthew Stafford.
Oh, now he's a loser.
Now, yeah, complete loser. No, it's, you know what, Reid? It's going to be a good game. I mean, I predicted this to be a 38-34 game. You predicted it to be a...
Yeah, what did I say?
You said 24-21. So, I mean, it's going to be close. I wouldn't be surprised if either team wins, to be honest. I just gave the edge to Minnesota because I think they had a better body of work throughout the year. But playoffs are a different animal. Turnovers, it's going to come to. Plus, both teams have rookie kickers. You know what I think about kickers as Reid continues to read Reacher. I think it's going to be this game comes down to turnovers. Whoever can take care of the ball the most will win, unless their rookie kicker screws it up for them.
Watch the kickers combine to go 1 for 5 on field goals in this game with several shanked punts. That'd be a dream game. Let's get to one more comment here from Darnell Nurse. The 7:30 game tonight between the Oilers and the Kings. As we will have a 6:30 Oil Stream pregame show. Like Spitty the Welder, I think he just tries to make me laugh or distract me. And he knows
Why? He's
that
asking an honest question.
He knows that I know that he knows that I owe him a hug.
2. You owe him 2.
Do I owe him 2 hugs now?
You doubled down on it.
What am I going to do?
What did he say? He said, "Hey, gents, is Fogle going to score tonight? Should I grab him for fantasy?"
Will Fogle score tonight? I don't know.
That's who knows. They were that line. As
you know
we
who will
discussed,
probably score tonight is your favorite boy,
Kempe.
Yes,
my guy. See, that's playoff Kempe. I like that playoff Kempe. Playoff Matt Stafford, I don't like.
Darnell Nurse commenting on the rivalry with the Los Angeles Kings.
Speaking of ourselves, anytime you're playing against a team that you've played a lot, no matter what the end result has been, there's an extra level of anticipation and excitement when those games come, and it's no different when we play the Kings, and it seems as though year after year we're competing for the same spots in the standings, competing for same points with their division. So this is a game that's gonna be hard fought. I think for us, we just keep our focus on what we can do, and then go out there and play our own game, and let the rest take care of itself.
All right, a little bit there from Darnell Nurse. Let's do buying or selling for Damon Bunting. He was here in studio on Friday. Great guy and a consistent top-producing realtor in Greater Edmonton area for over 17 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven, he understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. So online, go to DamonBunting.com or Instagram, Damon Bunting Real Estate. I saw some cool listings he had in Waquentuin, Oliver, around where I live on Instagram, Damon Bunting Real Estate, the other day. We love Damon. I got to read this email first, and you have some texts?
I do. There's quite a few.
You've been keeping an array of texts?
Yep.
This is from Uncle Jesse emailing Reid at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Hey, Reid, I heard Gager giving Hernan grief for saying his family was coming down from Chile, in which he said, did they come down or up? This grinds my gears. I live in Calgary, but from Edmonton. When my family talks of coming for a visit, they say, we'll make plans to come up there.
No.
Am I wrong for thinking that north is up and south is down? Or is my old man referring to elevation?
No.
I hope he's...
Gager was right.
I hope he doesn't know the nautical heights of the cities.
We go down to Calgary all the time.
Right.
But we return up to Edmonton.
Yeah.
All the time. Every time, actually.
And I learned the first time I went to Manhattan, which I think was 2007, it's called downtown because it's on the south end of the island.
Sure. That's correct.
And they say, all right, so if your house is at the north end of a block, then I think they say, what do they say? But they say like, they would say it's above. Like if you live between let's say in Edmonton, you live between 140th and 141st Streets.
Uptown?
They would say you live above 140th.
Right.
So if you were like, where's the comic store? Oh, it's like around 140th Street. Well, where exactly? Well, it's above it. Okay, it's north of it.
Avenue.
Right.
Yes.
Or I guess, the avenues go east, run east-west.
So you say down to Calgary, up to Edmonton, but if you're going to Lloydminster, you say out.
I'm going over. I'm going
over to Lloyd. I'm going out to Lloyd.
Out to Lloyd, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just going
Very
out to Spruce
important,
Grove.
everybody.
Just going out to Spruce Grove after the show.
Yeah, you don't come up to Spruce Grove.
No, you don't go in or out.
But you go into Edmonton.
You don't go up or down to
Because the
Spruce
larger
Grove.
center you go into.
You're going into Edmonton.
Yeah.
But you go down to
Going into-
Calgary.
Or just the city.
You go out to Saskatoon.
Like when I lived in Evansburg, just like, we're going to the city.
We're going down
People
to Banff.
knew it was Edmonton.
That's right.
Like, we're not going to Boston.
No, down is south, up is north. That is as clear as day. At least to Reid and I, which doesn't mean much.
Thank you, Uncle Jesse. Which one was Savage the plumber?
He came in.
Is he one of your buddies?
Well, I know he is now, I suppose. He's always
He's now your buddy.
he's always at the Century Casino.
So he knows Lieutenant Eric.
Yeah. He's dating Renee.
From Century Casino?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
He was in here. He works over
It's
here.
like it was a soap opera all of a sudden.
Remember he said he doesn't drink anymore?
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Okay.
That's
all right. So we are buying.
Why don't we just tell him?
We are
well,
buying.
He's about mid-height. He's a tall fella.
We are buying that if you are going to somewhere north of where you live, you are going up, not coming down to it.
Going up to Fort McMurray.
Dustin says Australia is down under, not up under. That's great. Going up under.
Well, it does make sense.
Is it down under redundant?
Because Hernan said that his family from Chile came down to Edmonton. And Gage says, wait, what did you say? I was listening. I caught it. It was pretty good.
Jasmine says, I suggest you guys go outside and take a look at the moon. Little thing called a radio program, Jasmine.
Hello.
Sorry, we don't have a moon roof. Open the moon roof.
Hashtag moon roof for Reid.
Wasn't there a moon roof in Game of Thrones? Didn't one of the castles have a moon roof?
Reid, I have not seen one episode of Game of Thrones.
Okay. Well,
I'm one of those rare.
You're missing a lot in terms of characters and action
Am I though?
And nudity.
Am I? Reid, I got
Give
to
me some
ask you a
text.
question.
River Cree inbox.
Buying or selling for Damon Bunting Real Estate. This comes back to the same question I had as to I don't get why Jeff Skinner is out. This comes in from Coach Clive. Absurd for Knobloch to go with 7D. Jeff Skinner had been playing better, and now he's scratched for no reason 2 games in a row.
Yeah, to me, it sends a bit of a confusing message to the player. Hey, we need you to play better and work a little harder. Okay, I did. Okay, you're out again. I heard Tom and Dustin. I didn't quite hear all of the oil stream, but somebody asked Tom, is he maybe banged up, nicked up? You never know. There could be something, but he was on the ice for the morning skate. And the reason we're assuming he's out is that Jay Skinner and Derek Ryan were the last guys out. So
Right.
usually the last guys off the ice for the morning skate aren't playing. Yeah, I get that question. We'll have to try to ask Knobloch maybe for a little clarity after the game, depending on what other storylines there are.
Well, and this comes in from Morris, kind of agreeing that this should be a physical game. Very worried that the Oilers will get pushed around tonight. Byfield is becoming a stud, and Fogle looks better than ever. And Jay's boy, Kempe, too.
Yes, that is
I
your
love
boy. You're
Adrian
adopting
Kempe.
Adrian Kempe.
Honestly, he might be one of my favorite NHLers.
What does he have? He has 39 points in 40 games. Kopitar has 40. He's their leading scorer, right? What does Byfield have? So Byfield has 20 points in 40 games. So here's a question for everybody: buying or selling? We're overestimating Byfield because he had a great game against Edmonton, but he's not having a great season.
Okay, 2 parts. Yes, we are, because he just manhandled the Oilers in recent memory. This is recent bias, I guess you could say. But the size of him, he's a massive body.
True.
And he can skate. People that size usually can't skate and score like that. So I think that's why he gets the benefit of the doubt here. Yes, he's on a point, what?
Half a point.
Half a point per game. He's the same bit rate as Connor Brown. Pretty much.
The recent Connor, actually Connor Brown's up to 19 and 42. I mean, even Podkolzin is 16 and 42.
But
Byfield's
Connor Brown
20
looks
and
like
40.
somebody that can score half a point a game. Quentin Byfield does not. Quentin Byfield looks like he'll take your head off.
Perhaps the best is yet to come still from Byfield.
Who knows? There's a lot of upside there.
Right.
Didn't Reid predict a loss for the Oilers when you guys looked at the schedule at the start of the month? That comes in from
Yeah,
Haven.
you asked me about that. Yes, I
We
did.
did. And are you firmly sticking by it? There's a lot of cool bettors
I don't
out
like to make double predictions, so I guess I have to.
If you
I have to be
double
a
predicted
Debbie
it, it would
Downer.
be a negative. What? Well, two negatives make a positive, right? What's the word people always screw up?
I ain't not understanding that.
Where something like that, where it's a double negative.
Yeah. What is it double negative called?
No, there's a common term that has a double negative that.
Oh, irregardless?
Maybe, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, if you're not regarding something, you just say regardless. If you're saying
that's what it
irregardless, well, and the other thing is, no, I'm thinking of the wrong thing. But irregardless is not a word. The word is regardless.
You can't not say that.
Yeah, regardless. Regardless means regardless means you're not regarding it. Like if you're saying, well, regardless of Draisaitl, the Oilers still score a lot because of McDavid, right? You don't say irregardless of Draisaitl. You're already saying that by saying regardless. I'm sure people are just thrilled with our grammatical lesson. Jared says slow start for Byfield, but he's picking it up lately. Coyote Steve says writing is on the wall for Jay Skinner. They want him to waive his no move. I don't know. He still will have to do. I've talked about it before. I'm not banking on that. Contract's been signed. I expect contracts to be honored. If something changes, then we'll deal with it at that time. Give us a thumbs up on YouTube. You might be the 130th. So I didn't do nothing.
What's going on?
From Big Uke.
Hey, should we give a clue out?
Yes, B.R. Harvey. That's what I'm saying. Irregardless is not even a word. So don't say it.
Regardless, should we give a word out?
Yes. The third clue for Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game is 57. So the clues are Bruins, Maple Leafs, and 57. I'm pretty sure somebody will get it now. Bruins, Maple Leafs, 57. We have more on the Oilers game. We have more on the books that I've been reading during the show. We have Bryan DeArdo covers the NFL for CBS. All in the final hour. I love you, nasties.
Wake up with the Nielsen Show with Dustin Nielsen and Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9 on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
You want the heavy hitters on your team, both on and off the ice. If you've been injured in a car accident, call the heavy hitters of injury law. James H. Brown and Associates, Alberta Injury Lawyers. With over 200 years of combined injury law experience, their precedent-setting lawyers are ready to help. Locally owned and proud Edmonton Oilers fans, James H. Brown and Associates wants to support you with their unrivaled experience, unrivaled results, and unrivaled commitment. When accidents happen, head to jameshbrown.com.
The Oilers are back home briefly to take on the Kings, with the Kings 2 points back. The Oilers having 2 games in hand, and you can catch Tom Gazzola at 6:30 along with Hernan Salas for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show right here on EST. In just a moment, Philly hosts the Panthers before the Flames are on the road to play the Blackhawks. And CFL News sees 2 former Elks signing to new teams, having McLeod, Bethel, Thompson to the Owls, and Dylan Mitchell joining the Bombers, while the Rams and Vikings kick off in Arizona for the final NFL Wildcard matchup. On the court, Toronto will be without Emmanuel Quickley due to left hip soreness when they meet Golden State, and after that, the Heat face the Clippers and the Timberwolves battle the Wizards on a 6-game NBA slate. I'm Zachary Kubish, and that was your sports update here on the Reid Wilkins Show. Hour 3 starts right now.
Hope you're having a great afternoon. Along with Jay Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. If you are texting us, it's through the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. River Cree Resort and Casino featuring Italia Restaurant, home of the $6.99 brunch special from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sundays. You can follow Edmonton Sports Talk on X at YEG Sports Talk. I am at Reid Wilkins. At Jason Milne is Jay's account. If you are consuming the show, I'm going to assume that you know about these platforms already, but please encourage other people to partake as well, or show them how easy it is through their electronic device to connect with them with Sports Talk. You can watch on YouTube. Jump into the nasty chat there. Give us a thumbs up. We are oh so close to 130, which is word of the day territory, and 150 would be a new live show record.
Let's do it.
iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio for a live audio stream, and podcasts for all the shows here on Edmonton Sports Talk, wherever you get your podcasts. We continue to try to educate people. I've been saying I've had to show some people, here's how to, you left Ched, but I can't listen to you now. Actually, you can. Including one gentleman who said he listens to Ched on iHeartRadio, but he couldn't find Edmonton. But I can't do Edmonton Sports Talk the way. Yes, you can.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
So
that doesn't add up.
You can get us. No excuses. If you want us, you know where to find us. And we love having you, and we love growing our audience, which is incredible. All right. Do we have? Oh, we have them. This is great. It is Bryan DeArdo from CBS Sports, covers the National Football League. Bryan, it's Reid and Jay. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, Jay. I love the Joe Theismann jersey. He has one of the most underrated plays in Super Bowl history that no one talks about. So it's really cool to see that jersey tonight.
Well, the Commanders now are my team. Obviously, Theismann was a Super Bowl winning MVP, as well as Mark Rippon, Doug Campbell. We had some good quarterbacks, and it looks like we found ourselves yet another good quarterback as Jaden Daniels is taking the NFL rookie debate to, it's over. What a win last night. I wanted to ask you, Bryan, from what you saw last night from that team, what do you see that suggests that possibly they can go into Detroit and, make some hay, make some noise and come out of there with a win?
Well, first, it is good to be on with you guys. I think the poise I thought that Daniels showed was really impressive, and I love the complementary football they played. And I think we all can agree that watched that game. The turning point was when they missed on the fourth down. I think it was 4th and goal, and Bobby Wagner gets the fumble recovery, and they're able to score with McLaurin, who went to my alma mater, Ohio State. So shout out to him and the Buckeyes. But yeah, so I think that they play very complimentary football. I love Coach Quinn. I think you saw it several times during the course of the season, and last night. They keep their composure extremely well. The season didn't always go their way. I know they had a little bit of a losing streak and then finished strong. And then, last night's game, they trailed for good portions of that game, but you never saw them panic. You never saw them, lose their composure. And for a rookie quarterback, Daniels is kind of like the figure point of all of that. He's got great composure, for a young guy. And he can make obviously every throw that you want. That throw to McLaurin that I alluded to is phenomenal. They played just good enough defense. I thought they did a really good job against Baker. And they know that, hey, Baker's going to put the ball on the ground sometimes. And when he does, you've got to capitalize. They're complementary weapons, because teams are really trying to take away McLaurin. And if they do, Alameda, Zacchaeus has played a lot better. Diami Brown is doing really well. I would like to see them run the ball a little bit more. I think against Detroit, they're going to have a more balanced offense. I think if Daniels, has to throw as much as he did this past game and they only run for 82 yards, less than 4 yards a carry, I don't think they'll win. So they're going to have to get more of a balance on offense if they're going to have a chance to upset Detroit.
Well, it's going to be a tough match for sure, no less, because Detroit's a wagon, as you know. They're my Super Bowl pick at the start of the year, and Reid's Super Bowl pick to be in the game, but he still is on the Chiefs. But let's move to tonight, Bryan. We got a massive NFC matchup with Minnesota and the Rams. Minnesota's a 2.5-point favorite, but the Vikings ended the season in a poor fashion, let's say, albeit it was up against the Detroit Lions. But what do you think the Vikings have to do to come out on top here as the favorites tonight?
Yeah, I would lean more on Aaron Jones in the running game. But honestly, though, I would let Darnold rip it. I really would. It's almost like Mark Rippon, right? One of your Washington quarterbacks. He was phenomenal as far as that season, 91, throwing the deep ball, not being afraid of mistakes. And I do think in this era of quarterback play, we are seeing it being played now at a level that we've never have, as far as, quarterbacks throwing for astronomical numbers and almost like single-digit interceptions. Like in the 90s when I grew up, 16 interceptions in a season wasn't bad at all. Now 16 like Baker had is tied for the league high, right? So, but I think, the what could be the detriment because of that is quarterbacks maybe playing too scared. And I think sometimes that's been Darnold's MO, especially in big games. And you saw it against the loss to Detroit in week 18 that decided the number 1 seed. His throws were high. They were really all over the place. And so I think that's where a lot of people might be picking the Rams as for an upset, because they have the better quarterback in Stafford. They've got a better running game potentially with Kyren Williams. Their defenses are about the same. So I could see the Rams upsetting them. But if I was the Vikings, though, you're going to play right into the Rams' hands. If you throw short, you play safe. Darnold needs to have success early in this game. And he's got the weapons to be aggressive, right? Like he's got Jefferson on one side. He's got Naylor, who's a really good number 3. They've got an exceptional number 2 receiver. So they've got, and Aaron Jones, who with the Packers last year in the playoffs, had 100 yards in the upset win over Dallas. So they've got all the weapons here to make a run. But my advice to them would be you can't play in this game scared. You have to respect what the Rams have on defense. But if you play conservative, you're going to play into Los Angeles' hands. You need to be aggressive, and you have to let Darnold try to get some success early in this game.
Brian, Reid here. You mentioned you're from Ohio, so you live close enough to Canada that you've heard of the CFL and maybe even watched it. So you know that we have long had quarterbacks that could run and be very mobile. That's now more of a thing in the NFL. Like, I remember when Michael Vick was on the scene, like, I would go on ESPN.com and people would be like, NFL writers would be writing, like, they're never going to win with a wide receiver at quarterback, which is, like, absurd when you look back on it. And, I love how you talked about how the low interception totals, and now that running, like, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, like Daniels, they have running plays called for them. And there was a play last night. Daniels made his first read, and then he just took off. And he gained, he didn't get a first down, but he probably gained 7 or 8 yards. And I looked at my dad. We watched a lot of football together, and I said, like, they just go. Like, they it's not even like, okay, once you've done all 5 reads, then run. They'll run quicker in the progression if it's there. I'm just it's not a question. I'm just teeing you up for whatever you want to say about the mobility and how quarterbacks kind of have to be able to move like that now.
You do, and I'll be honest, I grew up a Steelers fan, and it was depressing in the Wildcard game when Russell Wilson had an opening, he took off, and Kyle Van Noy, who's somewhere in his 30s, stopped in his tracks. And as Russell's taking off, I'm thinking, I saw Kyle Van Noy in his area, and I said, if he tackles Russell, that's going to say a lot about where this game's going to go. And he tackled him short of the first down. The Steelers punted, and the rest is history. So, no, I agree. And I think when you look at Aaron Rodgers and why things may not have worked with the Jets, I think his lack of mobility is a big reason. And again, Rodgers was never Houdini, right? But, like, he could shuffle, he could sidestep, he could keep things alive a little bit in his prime with the Packers. And I know he was banged up this year, but again, to your point, Reid, and that's honest, that's interesting intel about how that may have started in Canada, who I know had, Warren Moon before he came over here and Doug Flutie. So I know there's a long history of mobile quarterbacks in Canada, but that's interesting that may have evolved from Canada and then it kind of came into the NFL and was implemented. But you are 1,000% right. I mean, and that's, teams that have a mobile quarterback that can extend plays and are a threat have a major, major, major advantage, especially now with the rule changes in the NFL where you can't hit quarterbacks. You've got to be more protective when they're out of the pocket. And so, yeah, I mean, and that's why, I want, as a fan, I would like to see the Ravens win it because I'd like to see Lamar Jackson continue to dispel this narrative that running quarterbacks can't win a Super Bowl. But no, you're 100% right, though. I mean, the mobile quarterback in the NFL now, and again, the Steelers game, he said in that game he ran a lot of read options, basically just feeding off of what the Steelers defense was doing. If you have an immobile quarterback, you cannot do that. So it just creates an entire element to your game that gives you an immense advantage. So I entirely agree with you. And that's why the Bills and that's why the Ravens have a big advantage against whoever they play in the playoffs.
Brian, I just have one more question for you. Bryan DeArdo, NFL writer for CBS, is joining us here. Thank you for your time. Breaking news today was another firing of a head coach in the NFL, as the Dallas Cowboys and Mike McCarthy have split ways after 5 years. Where do you see this team going? I mean, I can't help but think that somehow, some way, Deion Sanders' name is going to get brought up. But I don't know if that's necessarily the right fit. What do you see this coach? Because there's a lot of good coaches out there available. Who do you see them tracking? What style of coach do you think best fits that Dallas Cowboys team?
There's not one, to be honest. I just don't see it because you've got to manage the drama and the constant just outside noise that is the Cowboys' job that Jerry Jones has actually said he welcomes. So, like, he welcomes distractions. I mean, that's one way to handle it, right? I don't know. And I thought that's what Mike McCarthy did that was so good, was that he was able to quiet the noise as much as he could in Dallas while still coaching the team to a decent level of success. And I think he was, I don't know if there is a perfect job for the Dallas Cowboys, but I thought he was about as good as a fit for them as you could get. But the reason, I mean, I would say now looking back on everything, the loss to Green Bay last year and then this year 7-10, that kind of sealed his fate, right? But I thought this year was in many ways impressive given that they had all the injuries. They have a top-heavy roster because they give CD all this money. They gave Dak all this money, but they didn't do a good job filling a lot of the other spots on their roster with depth. I thought he did a decent job navigating them to a 7-10 season. Rico Dowell had 1,000 yards rushing, right? I mean, that was the biggest question mark for them going into this season. Dak continued to have success with him until he had the injury. So I thought McCarthy did as well as you could do. I think Ben Johnson's the guy they're going to go for 100%, right? And on paper, this would be a great fit. I mean, he's 38, 39. He's been in the league for a while. He's had a ton of success with the Lions. I think he'd be a good fit there. They'd have to bring in a good defensive mind. I mean, that's one of the issues with any coach, right? Like, very few coaches have a pedigree on both sides of the ball, right? If you're a defensive guy, you need to bring an offensive guy, right? Vice versa. So he's an offensive coach. He'll have to bring it. I mean, I would get him and Robert Saleh for the defense, or maybe even a Brian Flores, and I think that you'd have something good there. But Ben Johnson, my biggest question would be, you've never coached in a big market before. You've never been a head coach at all before. So how are you going to handle all that outside noise that comes in? That's a daily thing in Dallas, and that would be my biggest concern. But I think Ben Johnson would be the best pick for this job. But I think anybody that goes into that job, along with all the high expectations and the crazy fans, you're going to have Jerry Jones as your general manager, and that's not the best situation to be in.
All right. Bryan, great insight. We love having you on Edmonton Sports Talk. Enjoy the game tonight. Should be another fun one. And I'll send you some CFL trivia so you can brush up on that too.
Oh, yeah, I need it. I absolutely need it. So I appreciate that, guys. Good being on with you.
Right on. Bryan DeArdo checking in, NFL writer for CBS Sports. He's a fun guy to have on the show. He's got a very energetic personality. I like that. He's good to talk to.
Very good, very knowledgeable, and interesting breakdown there. The name Ben Johnson has come up a lot for this Dallas Cowboys position that opened today, but I don't know. I mean,
where is he now? I'm not even sure.
Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is a problem. Jerry
Where's
Jones
Ben
is
Johnson?
an owner. Ben Johnson? He's a cheetah.
All right. Sorry.
No, did you
Jerry
not ever
Jones.
see the Ben Johnson? I'm not a cheetah.
No
commercials.
I don't remember this.
Cheetah was an energy drink.
Oh, our Ben Johnson.
Our Ben Johnson.
Yes, okay, I remember that. Sorry.
He's with the Detroit Lions.
Oh, this is the Lions
Yeah.
guy. Sorry. Okay, yeah, I remember they were talking about him on
He's
the
the
on
OC.
last Sunday's game.
But Jerry Jones is a problem. If you were Ben Johnson, why would you go to the Cowboys?
Because you want to be a coach.
I know, but Jerry Jones is the owner and general manager.
And
he's got to
thinks he's
give
the
that
coach.
up. He's got to give up that general manager role.
He won't.
This team, then continue sucking, Jerry. I don't mind it because
He should mail that to the Cowboys front office.
Yeah, continue sucking.
Continue sucking, Jerry. Portions of this hour presented by Canadian Brewhouse. NHL lives at the Canadian Brewhouse. Every Oilers game day, get $1 off tankers of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. You can win game tickets and 2 tickets to a surf and turf dinner at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. Do we have a winner in our Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game?
We do not.
We do not. Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Are you positive we don't have a winner?
But I did get a text from my mother, and Nacho Man also texted in, unthaw or unthawed.
Yeah, people should not say unthaw. That's incorrect.
Isn't that just freezing?
Just thought. Yeah, if you want to unthaw something, you're going to freeze it. All right, I guess I got to get to the fourth clue. I thought somebody would have had it by now. The fourth clue, Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game. You're trying to win a $25 GC is Miracle. The fourth clue is Miracle. Text in your guess, maximum 3 per person, to the River Cree inbox, 780-218-9999. So the clues have been Bruins, Maple Leafs, 57, and Miracle. Here comes Zachary Kubish with a sports update.
Oilers and Kings duke it out for a Pacific Division showdown with the Oilers up 2 points on LA in the standings. And you can tune into the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Hernan Salas and Tom Gazzola live at 6:30 right here on EST. And right now the Flyers and Panthers are tied at 0 midway through the first before the Flames meet the Blackhawks. In the CFL, former Elk Dylan Mitchell is signed with the Bombers, while McLeod Bethel Thompson is moving out to Montreal. And on the court, the Raptors will face the Warriors with Toronto's Emmanuel Quickley out of action due to left hip soreness, while the Timberwolves are down 6-4 against the Wizards in the first before the Grizzlies battle the Rockets on a 6-game NBA slate. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc. Locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. They sell doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff at Windsor Plywood Leduc today. The Reid Wilkins Show returns on the other side of the break here on EST. I'm Zachary Kubish.
Make a fresh start in the new year with Sentinel Storage. With convenient locations near you, Sentinel Storage is here to help you make space for everything 2024 holds. Sentinel Storage. Shop Canadian, store Canadian. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Hey Edmonton, ready to take advantage of lower rates and better pricing? South Fort Chevrolet in Fort Saskatchewan has you covered. From rugged trucks to sleek SUVs. And with over 40 years in business, you can trust that you're getting the best deal on your new ride. As the proud title sponsor of the Nielsen Show, EST listeners can drive a little to save a lot with South Fort Chevrolet's transparent pricing and down-to-earth sales team. Visit us today in Fort Saskatchewan or online at southfortchev.com.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Hockey lives at the Canadian Brew House. Every Oilers game day, get $1 off tankards of Molson Canadian and Coors Light. Plus, you can win game tickets and a surf and turf dinner for two at the end of the season. Full details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
How do you beat those winter blues? How about a double shot of classic rock? River Cree Resort and Casino and K97 proudly present Helix and Sweet. February 28th, live in the venue. Helix and Sweet. Get your tickets now at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement. Bet on it.
Thanks a lot for joining us this afternoon. 7:30 game at Rogers Place. I think I saw that 7:39 will be the actual puck drop. Oilers and Kings. The Oilers coming in 26-13-3. Kings are 24-11-5. We will have the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show with Tom and Hernan starting at 6:30. You can text us through the River Cree inbox at 780-218-9999. River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the Tap 25 restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days of the week from 2 to 5 p.m. Has anybody texted in a winning guess in the Hudson's Canada's Pub Mystery Athlete of the Game?
Just double checking. No.
We don't have a winner. I am surprised.
Let's recap the clues again.
All right. And I have one more. Should I give it? No, I'll wait. The clues are Bruins, Maple Leafs, 57, and Miracle.
As in whip?
No, as in miracle.
Miracle whip?
Well, miracle, as in the word miracle. Bruins, Maple Leafs, 57, and Miracle. A wrong guess, you told me. I might as well give a wrong guess since we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here. Andrew Raycroft, incorrect. Though, You're on to something. And I'll just leave it at that. Bruins, Maple Leafs, 57, and Miracle. This person had a wide-ranging career. Okay?
Apparently, we're missing out on the coolest moon ever.
Everybody's excited about the moon. Jasmine texted about the moon. Other people are mentioning the moon. Exciting, exciting, exciting. All right. 11 forward, 7D for the Oilers tonight. If you missed that earlier, McDavid between Nugent Hopkins and Hyman, Draisaitl, Podkolzin, and Arvidsson, Henrique, Janmark, and Brown, Perry, and Kapanen don't have a center. Eck, Bush, Nurse, Kulak, Stetcher, Josh Brown, Emerson on the blue line. Kings, Kopitar with Turcotte and Kempe. Byfield with Fogle and Moore. Danault with Fiala and Laferriere. Jeannot and Lewis are also forwards. Anderson and Gavrikov, he's good. Englund and Clark. Moverare, I'm saying that wrong. People know who I'm talking about. Spence and Burrows and Kemper in goal. Kemper having a really good season for Los Angeles. That's how we expect the teams to line up. We do not have a winner, seriously.
Seriously.
Okay.
But we're very close to revealing the word of the day. We're two.
Give us some thumbs up. So hopefully somebody will win while I do my top 3 for food sausage. The best sausages you will ever eat. Locally made and packed full of flavor. Order online or visit them in store, 6736 99th Street. Take advantage of their EST discount. 10% off your order by entering the online code EST or just mention Edmonton Sports Talk in store. As Food Sausage says, you can't beat our meat. So the off-topic topic for William Huff, inspired by A.J. Brown, reading, what was the name of the book again? Inner Excellence by Jim Murray on the sidelines. A Philadelphia Eagles player reading a book on the sidelines. My top 3 will be inspired by that as well. Top 3 activities I'd like to see on the sidelines during a game. Top 3 activities I'd love to see on the sidelines during a game. All right, so the first one is I'd like to see a game of chess between an offensive player and a defensive player. So they have a chessboard set up on the sideline. The defensive player comes off, looks at the board, takes his move. Then the offensive player will run off. Look, he makes his move. So one guy's playing black, one guy's playing white. I'd love to see a game of chess between teammates, but on different units.
That would be interesting because it would be a long game. You know, they make a move every possession.
Yeah.
Come back, analyze what...
It should be finished by the end of the fourth quarter.
Should be. Yeah,
I would think, especially if one guy's way better than the other. But I would love to see that. And then if it gets knocked over, oh, no, they ran into the chessboard.
Well, the defensive guys are where all the brains are, so, it shouldn't.
So, as a result, the board wouldn't get knocked over by people flying into the sidelines?
Can you imagine? Oh, and there appears to be a chessboard on the Gatorade table.
Some trainer would have to take a picture every, and then they could dump the chess pieces on the coach if they won the game. All right. We'll be over 130, so we'll do a word of the day.
We did it.
At some point.
Let's keep going, though. Let's get to our...
If we can get to 150 is the record for thumbs up during a live show.
Yeah.
Because we've got over 150, but some of those thumbs were when people were watching after the fact, which we still appreciate, but it's cool to get it live. We're doing it live! The other thing I would love to see a player do on the sidelines during a football game is he grabs an iPad and then they show an over-the-shoulder shot, and he's watching another game.
Right.
Oh, yeah, there he must be watching some video of that last possession. Nope, he's watching the Steelers and the Ravens, who are playing on CBS. We got this game on Fox.
Checking his 3-game parlay.
He's checking it.
In the final leg.
He's logged into,
It would be funny if they did show that and he's playing, like, Minecraft or Candy Smash or
he's
whatever
doing
that game is.
iPad game, yeah.
That would be good.
That would be pretty funny. And then my third activity for food sausage that I'd love to see a player take part in on the sidelines during a game, also computer related, he's in the nasty chat. Oh, A.J. Brown just jumped into the nasty chat. He's saying that Jalen Hurts sure isn't good at distributing the ball. Pretty good? No? Lame?
No.
Thumbs down. Jay's giving the show a thumbs down.
No. yeah, I'm taking one away. Man, this is... I don't know. Your last clue must be something.
We seriously do not have a winner.
We seriously do not.
All right. Bruins. Okay, if I give the last one, hang tight because it's going to come. All right? Bruins, Maple Leafs, 57, and Miracle. Okay? Do you want me to do the final clue right now?
Sure.
Final clue is Cornell. Cornell. So those are the clues. Bruins, Maple Leafs, 57, Miracle, and Cornell. I did not think this would go to the fifth clue, which I think is a giveaway. I thought that the third one might have been a giveaway if you were really researching it. But hey, I'm often wrong with this because there were some hard ones people got on the first or second clue. I thought this one would go after the third.
Cornell, that's the Big Red, right? That's
sure.
their team name?
Well, it's Cornell. Cornell's the clue.
What a brutal name.
What, Big Red?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a giant redhead is their mascot. Is that Archie?
Ronald McDonald comes for celebrity
Ronald
night.
McDonald's the mascot. I don't know what else to give you for clues. Well, I do know what else to give you for clues, but I'm not going to give them yet. But I want to just delay a little bit here because I think we're going to get a winner pretty soon. Do we seriously not have a winner, Jay?
Well, it can be a bit delayed, so you got to give it a second for the...
And don't put it in the... Don't put it in the nasty chat. Chief Andy, you're going to like this one. Chief Andy's going to be like, Reid, I should have known it. Don't you think?
If anybody could say that, it would be Chief
It would
Andy.
be Chief Andy. Chief Andy will be kicking himself.
Which book that
didn't
you
get
have
it.
there do you think Chief Andy would appreciate the most?
All the President's Men by Bernstein and Woodward. So I have the books I've been reading throughout the show, reading, in quotes. Bad Luck and Trouble by Lee Child. It's a Reacher book. All the President's Men by Carl Bernstein and Bob Woodward. I've read all these books, by the way. Boys Will Be Boys by Jeff Pearlman, both the Dallas Cowboys, and Dune by Frank Herbert. Who got it?
Well, there was two that came in, one right after the other, but it was Brent P.
Maybe Brent Peterson.
Got it.
All right.
Followed by two others, very close, but it was Brent.
All right.
Four others now.
So Brent P. will get the $25 GC to Hudson's Canada's Pub. This person was drafted by the Boston Bruins 14th overall in 1964. He later became president of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs was the second clue. The third clue was 57. In his career as a goaltender, he suffered only 57 losses in the regular season. His record was 258, 57, and 74. The fourth clue was Miracle. He was the color commentator to Al Michaels for the Miracle on Ice victory, 1980, Lake Placid, United States over, well, they were called the Soviet Union at the time. And he went to Cornell, the Big Red.
Ken Dryden,
one of the all-time greats.
That shocked you, I think, that it went that long. You thought somebody might get it after the second clue.
Yeah, because people are kind of know how I think sometimes. But that's a great fun fact about that. That could be a great trivia question. Who's the greatest goaltender the Boston Bruins ever drafted?
The guesses that came in were just...
What were some of the other guesses?
Okay, we had a couple Steve Hines.
Because he wore 57. Did he ever play for Toronto, though?
I don't know. Sasha Lakovic.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Alan Bester.
Nice.
Herb Brooks brought out because of the Miracle.
Yeah.
Jerry Cheevers.
Cheevers, goaltender for the Bruins, yes.
Thomas Caberlet.
Yeah.
And a couple Austin Matthews mixed in. Huh.
Cheevers, you know what? I shouldn't. That's Cheevers. I didn't realize this. Cheevers played 2 games for the Maple Leafs and then played a long time for Boston.
As soon as the 5th clue came in, there was about 6 people that were close.
Cornell's the giveaway. Cornell's the giveaway because he went to Cornell. But that is kind of a fun fact. Dryden drafted by the Bruins, and then I went to Maple Leafs because he was a president of the Maple Leafs. So I ignored his Montreal career until I got to... He only lost 57 games. So Ken Dryden... Like, these stats don't even make sense. Where are they again now? Ken Dryden played 397 games in goal for the Canadiens in the regular season. 258 wins, 57 losses, and 74 ties.
Jeepers.
He had more ties than losses. 922 career save percentage, 2.24 goals against average, 46 shutouts in 397 games.
Jeepers.
So 1 out of every 9 games about he got a shutout. So Ken Dryden is your mystery athlete of the game for Hudson's Canada's Pub. So Brent P. gets the gift card.
Yeah, the Coob has already reached out to him.
Oh, Coob's right on it.
Coob's the man. Hey, so speaking of the Coob, I saw you got some surprise gifts for Hernan and Joaquin on the EST afternoon. So just, I guess it's going to come in the final show or the final segment, our gifts? Or?
Yeah. Well, I the gift of friendship is what I have for you guys today. Maybe one day it'll happen. I don't like going out of my way to buy gifts.
What did you get them? Coconut water?
Coconut water, yeah. I have some.
Why did you get them
real
that?
Coconut water? Well, because Hernan is a big coconut water guy. Anytime I brought it to work, usually it's in a can. And he'd be like, wow, that's awesome. Good nutrition, good hydration. And he talked about it, very passionate about it. So I saw some real coconut, and I just had to pick it up for the fellas. Sorry,
I
guys.
would bet you $5 that Reid wouldn't even put the straw in that thing.
No, I don't want any.
See?
I didn't offer any.
Woo.
What's special about coconut water?
I don't know. It's just tasty. It's natural sugar.
Is it tasty?
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
Well,
is it? There's things
like
that
it,
people
yeah.
say, oh, I like that. I like that that lemongrass acai berry, but it's like green, goopy, energy drink or breakfast drink, and they say, I love it.
Yeah, I love
Do
eating
you
me some
really?
dandelion butter. I do. Yeah, well, maybe I might pretend that I like it, but it's kind of fun because I'll pull myself up on camera here. It's an actual coconut. So there's kind of the novelty factor to it. Like you kind of have to pull the lid back, push down this contraption, and then stick the straw in it. It's like having one of those Kool-Aid saucer or what do they call those? Like where you have the pack that you could squish the Kool-Aid and you'd turn it upside down and you could hit the straw through it. It's kind of has that. I don't know. I don't know if you guys have tried those before, but it's a novelty to it.
So that's it. The gift of friendship.
You don't sound grateful.
I just want to clarify. I am very grateful, more than grateful. Coop, your friendship is all I need.
Do you want a lozenge from my backpack?
A what?
A lozenge.
A lozenge?
Cough drop.
Sorry, what did you just call it?
Lozenge?
Okay, I'm not perfect pronouncing things, but is it not a lozenge?
I believe.
I don't know.
I believe there is a Z.
I think it's said like a
lozenge?
Z. Yes, I don't think it's a loss-enge, like a lost engine.
To be interpreted.
TBI, bro.
TBI, bro.
By the way, David Quadrelli, who writes for CanucksArmy.com, polled a very small portion of people who will vote for the Hart Trophy. Just 11 of them. Leon Draisaitl got all 11 first-place votes. Draisaitl, then, so the full voting was Draisaitl, McKinnon, Quinn Hughes, Connor Hellebuck, and then Kirill Kaprizov. Other players who got a very small number of votes, Kucherov, Makar, Eichel, and Werenski. How about that? So, very preliminary and a very small sample. But the 11 people he polled all unanimously picked Draisaitl to win the Hart. He got all 5. He got all 11 first-place votes.
How could you disagree right now? I mean, if he keeps this pace, which is the question, can he sustain this pace? Then it's a no-brainer. But I mean, geez, his numbers are just video game like.
Yeah, he's good. X-Ray J says I should leave Coob alone. It is lozenge, is it not? Not lozenge.
It's lozenge. I've heard somebody else say it.
Who?
Somebody around this office. I don't want to say. I thought I heard lozenge.
Not Matt.
So I was like, what is that? I didn't even know what a lozenge was. And I was asking, I was like, what is a lozenge?
Oh, wow.
Or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. And
you
they
have
were
much
like,
to
cough
learn,
drop.
young Padawan.
I just called them cough drops. Who would have knew?
Well, yeah, there's no way to know how to pronounce words or use proper grammar. No way to know. All right. The River Cree inbox, by the way. Where's my sheet? Did I do all 4 already? Yeah, I gave him 4. Oh, I got to give some love to James H. Brown Studios. We're in the James H. Brown studio. James H. Brown Personal Injury Law Firm, the heavy hitters of injury law with over 200 years of experience. James H. Brown will get you the settlement you deserve. Visit them at jameshbrown.com. Book your private consultation today. Who's in the nasty chat as EST? Oh, that's you calling yourself Unthawed Coob.
It is.
Fair enough. We'll have the word of the day, and we'll have Crunch the Numbers. We're going to make Crunch the Numbers the word of the day somehow. It's Reid and Jay on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
It's a West Coast matchup between the Oilers and the Kings with Tom Gazzola and Hernan Salas live for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show at 6:30 only on EST. And there's 2 other games dotting the slate, seeing Philly host Florida with the Panthers up 2-0 near the end of 20 before the Flames play the Blackhawks. And in the NFL, the Rams and Vikings kick off in Arizona for the final Wildcard matchup. On the court, Toronto will be without Emmanuel Quickly due to a left hip soreness when they meet Golden State. Right now, the Wizards, are down 27-20, entering the second against the Timberwolves before the Pistons tip off against the Knicks. The final segment of the Reid Wilkins Show is after the break here on EST. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
Get to know the winners, props, plays, parlays, and more with Nielsen and Hustler. Weekday mornings at 11 on The Lock Shop. Only on EdmontonSportsTalk.com.
Edmonton Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the Association, Formula One, soccer, golf, oh sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Food Sausages makes their meat with nothing but the best local ingredients. From chicken, beef, and pork, their gluten-free sausages are packed with flavor. Every single bite. Get a 10% discount when mentioning Edmonton Sports Talk in-store or use the code EST when shopping online at foodsausages.ca. Plus, you get free delivery on orders of $100 or more. Find them at 6736 99th Street. Food Sausages. You can't beat our meat.
Oh, it's been quite a day on the Reid Wilkins Show. Jay Milne played portions of his CD. He was the lead singer of a punk rock band called Brody in the late 1990s. We heard some excerpts from songs, which is pretty amazing. Oilers and Kings tonight at 7:30 at Rogers Place. Kings are 29th on the power play at just 15%. The Oilers are 8th at 24.8. The Oilers PK 24th at 76.8. Still working their way up after a horrific start. Kings PK pretty good, 81.8%. That is 10th in the National Hockey League. The Kings are 24-11-5, 10-9-4 on the road. The Oilers 26-13-3, 14-7-1 at home. That is crunching the numbers for Gallo LLP, Chartered Professional Accountants, where they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John at Gallo LLP if you'd like to discuss further how they can crunch your numbers and help your business grow. Visit their website, gallollp.ca, and see how Gallo LLP can help your business grow. These two teams played earlier this season. The Kings won in overtime. The Oilers are ahead of the Kings in the Pacific Division in terms of points, 55-53. In points percentage, slight advantage to LA, 663 to 665. Vegas, 61 points, 709 points percentage, leading the division. That wild card race, Colorado with 53 points, and Vancouver, the last playoff spot, with 48. The Flames have 47. Flames have won their last two, including beating Los Angeles on Saturday night, baby.
What does this mean?
What?
Oh, when Jay had hair and not the McDonald's hairline? What's the McDonald's hairline?
I don't know. It's sweet and sour?
I don't know. I don't care what you think about my hair. I truly don't. I just don't know what the McDonald's hairline is in reference to.
McDonald's hairline is. I don't know.
I don't know. Golden Arches. Is it Golden Arches?
Oh, do you look like an M?
I don't know.
You're not
I don't have a
blonde, and I don't know.
I don't have a
He's
widow's.
a giant M.
Wouldn't that be a widow's peak? What you would call a widow's peak?
Yeah,
Like
it's a widow's peak.
Like a
Yeah.
Dracula-looking peak.
You are Draculian.
Thank you.
Guess what comes out Friday night?
Wolfman.
Wolfman, baby.
Yeah, let's
Yes.
go. We are very close to knocking off our personal best.
Oh, new record would be incredible.
Let's go. If you M-shaped hairline, bruh. That's what a McDonald's. What about my hairline is shaped like an M?
I guess because you do have a bit of the widow's peak. So if you looked straight on, perhaps. I don't know.
All right.
Whatever.
I don't know. Sure. McDonald's is very successful as a global entity.
They are quite a franchise.
So-
Yes. They should sell a burger based on your hairline.
Brody.
The Brody burger.
Yeah, extra cheesy.
We need 3 thumbs up to set a new record for during a live show. Just do it. Tap it now, everybody. But we did well exceed the threshold for the word of the day. Should we do it?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you got a word of the day.
Well, and I must say, Dustin apparently came in on the weekend and did some house cleaning in here. It looks lovely in the office. I think it was just after the rush of Christmas and all the treats and everything that was sitting around. It can get a little cluttered in
It's
here.
been a little cluttered, too, with all the Nasty Club stuff, all the merch, which is great.
It's a good
But
clutter.
we have a bunch of boxes around that weren't here, certainly when I started.
Your books are hanging
Oh,
perilously
my books
there.
might fall.
Yeah.
Thanks. We got to still go through these as well.
Yes.
I just randomly grabbed some books that I had read. I might do this every day now. Read during the show.
Sure, read. Okay, word of the day. Let's just see where we're at here. Did we eclipse? 153, Reid.
Oh, new record. New record, baby.
Wow.
Thank you, Nasties. Excellent work. Wow. To officially become a Cowboy, a player had to run at least once with Michael Irvin, who was equal parts big brother, party host, and torture administrator. Though he missed the preseason in a contract holdout, Irvin deemed it his duty to welcome new players into the fold, be they first-round draft picks or unknown rookie free agents. A little bit from Boys Will Be Boys by Jeff Pearlman, about the Cowboys of the early 90s.
Did they find out who took the Paninos?
No.
That was
I don't think so.
We all
question.
did.
What do you mean we all did? Is it like
We all did.
Murder
We all
on the Orient
shared. It was
Express?
kinda-
Everybody did it.
Yeah, you can have one. Everyone gets a panino. Everyone
Did
wants
you
a
have
half.
one? So
I
people
had a
took them
half.
home?
I think Mr.
I had
J.
a half
Milne had
early
a
in the
half.
day. Yep.
Hernan had a half. and I think Gager had one.
So they were all gone when they came in this morning, and they thought there was going to still be some there.
There's a
why
four
would they think they would not be eaten?
think that? Well, no. Here's the real question: is why did they think that you would leave them in the fridge over the weekend?
I did. I was gonna bring one home. Actually,
Yeah.
there was one left. I had the half, and there was one left. When I went into the fridge, of course, 1.5. Yeah, 0.5 plus 1 equals 1.5. Thank you. But it was a veggie one as well. So I'm like, do I leave it? Like it might wilt. It won't taste as good. Will anyone
It's
really
gonna
eat
wilt.
that?
Yeah.
Bread,
Well, it
meat,
gets
and cheese
soggy.
generally doesn't wilt.
Yeah,
But
the stuff inside of it
plants
might
but it
wilt.
might get a little funky. Yeah.
Yeah, there might
I
be
thought-
another ecosystem in there.
I don't know how much of a controversy this actually is.
We're at 160 thumbs.
Let's go,
That's
baby.
incredible. All right, we better do word of the
Word
day.
of the day. It has to do with my band, actually.
Oh, that's now I have a hint.
Fugacious. And by the way, I was going to say, Dustin came in and did some cleaning, and he threw away all my collection
Well, he
of
threw out
words
your word
of the day.
stuff. He thought it was useless. What's this educational stuff?
Yeah. What are these words,
Yeah,
man?
this doesn't have anything to do with LeBron.
This is lame. Lame.
Fugacious?
Fugacious.
Okay, well, I'll go with what I think is the obvious spelling. Fugacious.
Wow. Reid Rick.
Fugacious. And you said it has to do with your band. So I'm going to guess it has something to do with music. Now, is not a fugue a type of
can't go on your
song?
computer.
A fugue is a... well, I'm looking at fugue, not fugacious. I guess I still shouldn't do that. I'm going to say fugacious is prone to writing catchy melodies.
No. Fugacious is a formal word that describes something that lasts only a short time.
Say that again.
Fugacious is a formal word that describes something that lasts only a short time.
Say that one more time. Sorry.
A word that describes something that lasts only a short time.
Okay, so you could say the fruit fly had a very fugacious life.
Or the Paninos lived spent a fugacious amount of time in the fridge.
I don't know why I went to a fruit fly.
They don't last. The rock band's early success proved fugacious. Within 2 years, its members had moved on to other careers.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Savor the enduring pleasures of life as intensely as the fugacious ones.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
So, something lasting only a short time. Could it be something negative, though? Like,
yep.
Thankfully, my toe pain was fugacious.
Yeah. Yes.
Nash Osborne says, my first marriage was fugacious.
I was wondering when that was.
Yeah,
Chief Andy says Jay's hairline is fugacious.
Oh, jeez. Now everybody's going to be on your hairline for
I don't
some
care.
reason.
I got broad shoulders. I can handle it.
Right. All right. That was good. Is there a second word today?
I better, right?
Yeah,
because
we're up to 161 now. Mondays are generally good. And then by the end of the week, people are like, why do I listen to this show? We're like a bad habit, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a performance before the football game. We got the game on the ESTV.
Palaver. The second word is
oh my God.
Palaver.
I'll go obvious. Palaver. Palaver. I don't know what this means. Palaver. Something used to lift heavy objects.
Dustin's in the nasty chat, providing some context to the word fugacious. Jay's sheets of words of the day was fugacious.
Where is it, Dustin? What did you do with it?
They're gone.
You can't just recycle every sheet of paper because it doesn't have your writing on it. Oh, this looks like notes for another show. Trash. Palaver. I'm going to say a device used to lift heavy and large objects.
I just can't help but think of cadaver when I think of palaver.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying here.
Palaver is an informal word that usually refers to an unimportant or meaningless talk. Like we've been palavering
like the
for
debate,
the last...
like the debate of LeBron versus Michael. It's palaver.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Enough of this palaver. We have more important things to discuss.
Is that an actual sentence they gave?
Yes, that's what Dusty could say at our Staff meeting.
Yeah. Enough palaver.
Enough palaver.
Let's get to work. Let's clean the office. Let's throw out people's stuff. Hey, Dustin, have you seen my laptop? Oh, I don't know. I recycle the laptop.
He says it's in the garbage. Don't leave it laying under the main studio TV. Couldn't have been that important.
Leave it lying under the main studio, not laying. What? It's true.
Yeah,
Don't leave things lying around, not laying around.
That's our boss, dude.
Well, he has to learn. I demand that he learneth grammar as well. He's just thinking, like, what is going on with these guys?
Reid's attention span was fugacious. That comes in from Vic.
I take exception with that. Do you deny it? No, but I take exception with it.
This is good. Deaky Sparks has jumped onto the YouTube to give you guys a like. Back to iHeart as he is at work. Deaky Sparks, to you, I give that
163. Are we going to set that as our new record?
Well, it's about that time.
Okay, what was the meaning of padaver again?
Palaver.
Palaver, sorry.
Palaver. An informal word that usually refers to unimportant or meaningless talk.
Because now Nash Osborne also says, my first marriage was palaver. It was fugacious at palaver. Oh, that's funny. All right, I'm going to go to the game. I think Awanek's coming to the game tonight. Perhaps
yes, he said he was.
I don't know if Dustin's going to be there. Dustin, I hope you're there, buddy. Or at least text me while I'm there, buddy, please.
Wow, we're climbing.
We got to 165. That's our new record for a live show. I'm going to go read Boys versus Boys. So it's 6:30. It is Hernan and Tom taking over the stream for the Oil Stream GCL Diesel pregame show. They'll be on after the game as well. 7:30 face-off between the Oilers and the Kings. All right, on behalf of Zachary Kubish and Jay Milne, I'm Reid. Enjoy the Oilers game tonight. Enjoy the NFL playoff game. Well, just enjoy your evening in general. Maybe you're going to read Dune by Frank Herbert. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 3.
Sports Talk delivers a mass audience of key, influential customers to your business, all while you associate your company brand with the biggest names, the hottest sports news, and teams from every league around the globe. Oilers and Elks, NHL, NFL, Major League Baseball, and the association, Formula One, soccer, golf, oh sweet mama! The excitement is palatable on Edmonton Sports Talk. It's where fans go to get their sports fix and where our partners find the most loyal consumers. Contact us today and see how our team on Edmonton Sports Talk can score the biggest goals for your business. With various advertising options available, email business@edmontonsportstalk.com or head to our website and send a message at edmontonsportstalk.com.